I believe that I am the best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time. I'm a person who will spike the conversation, who will get politics rolling and stimulate new questions and new answers to our current political dilemma facing our nation. I believe I have a keen understanding of the economy and how to improve where we're at relative to other nations around the world. I believe that our goal at America's Third Party was to create a very strong platform in which would propel the American people forward with new opportunities and a new possibility of creating a better nation, a cleaner environment, and less war. Best person for the job of President of the United States. My unique talents give me the ability to be assertive and diplomatic at the same time.
Welcome everyone to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim, and today is Technology Thursday. Greetings. This is amazing. We're dealing with a constant awakening to the corruption in the two-party system, and now we're finding out that Mueller didn't even have it right. Yeah, he didn't even get the number of emails that many people said were selected were not enough, and it's like Mueller didn't even do his job. And I was the one that commented about this the other day. I was telling people how Mueller hasn't gotten tax returns, 10 years of tax returns from Donald Trump. Mueller has not pursued the second case against Manafort, which involved money laundering directly from the Russian oligarchs. Mueller took a sidestep, handed an entire file over with a lot of incriminating evidence, and William Barr, determined in 4 pages that Trump did nothing wrong. Now, I have to remind you that William Barr was selected by Trump, and he was chosen because he's an old player in the deep state. He's been around a long, long time. I'm sure Trump himself didn't even select William Barr. I'm sure somebody else told Trump to pick him. But William Barr is defending Russia, and has in the past. He wrote a 19-page letter to Rod Rosenstein declaring that they shouldn't pursue obstruction charges before he was even nominated as Attorney General. And more importantly, he asked Rod Rosenstein not to investigate Michael Flynn at the time. And we know now that Michael Flynn was working for Russia the whole time. So our Attorney General ostensibly supported Russia in trying to keep Michael Flynn in as our national security advisor, which implicates him. Aiding and abetting a known criminal is an offense. So it means William Barr needs to retire or resign or get disbarred. There's no other way around this. We need a better Attorney General. Jeff Sessions was wise to recuse himself when he did. And we know now that Jeff Sessions perjured himself, but hasn't been charged with perjury, when he told Al Franken, of all people, that he'd never met with the Russians, when in fact he had met with Kislyak twice. So Jeff Sessions was guilty of perjury. That's why he recused himself. But this guy's even deeper into the Russian mix and connected to the Russians, writing a 19-page letter in support of Michael Flynn. This is unheard of. Yeah, anyway. Wow. Yeah, wow. That's like a wow moment. Breaking a high-level source within the Ecuadorian state. WikiLeaks is not a problem. Julian Assange and the expelling of Julian Assange has been said about 7 or 8 times in the past 2 years or 3 years. It's ridiculous. The whole story is a complete CIA prop job. I seriously doubt that Julian Assange is alive. I believe that he's been made up. He's been CGI'd a number of times. If you haven't been to YouTube and seen the excellent display of CGI work that the AI systems can do, you've got to wonder if Julian Assange is really alive or not. Well, let's take a look and see if we have it. Yeah, take a look at this strange fake video that was created. Where is Julian Assange?
Hey everybody, we're just checking out a facial manipulation software here from the Stanford University project, where they attempt to, use a normal commoner garden webcam to be able to affect RGB video coming from YouTube or coming from another source. Pretty.
He represents American white trash. Deplorable and irredeemable. American white trash. Deplorable trash. Deplorable trash. Deplorable trash. Deplorable trash. Deplorable trash. Deplorable trash.
See that? Look at that.
Deplorable trash.
So they're able to meld the videos together, and what we've seen of Julian Assange is very likely a fake. It's like saying this guy I'm going to play right now is me. Clearly he's not.
Hey, do you ever wonder, like, what is going on? I mean, like, do you ever, like, wake up or do something and you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I kind of do. Beginning to think that all of this is kind of fake. I mean, you can see we look alike, but we don't sound alike. I mean, really. So apparently people are easily faked. That's what I'm saying. Let's get on to the next subject at hand. Next one. Thank you. David, your son. No, he's not my son. Whoa. Hey, what's your question? CBS News. Nipsey Hussle and his murderer, Eric Holder. Got it. Okay. Okay, we have Beto O'Rourke is willfully trivializing the Holocaust in an attack on Trump. Wow. Okay.
Police say this is the man who killed Nipsey Hussle and wounded 2 others. 29-year-old Eric Holder had words with Nipsey in front of the rapper's Marathon clothing store. He left, and as this video seems to show, came back with a handgun.
We believe this to be a dispute between Mr. Hussle and Mr. Holder.
Over what?
I'm not going to go into the conversations, but it appears to be a personal matter.
A vigil last night drew hundreds. 19 were hurt after someone spotted a gun, causing a stampede. The father of 2 recently spoke about growing up in violence.
I grew up in LA in the 90s. You know what I mean? It was intense. Gang culture was what was going on.
He worked hard to change that, opening a tech workspace and helping get kids $10,000 worth of sneakers. His mission? To make his community better.
Floor, and we're going to begin tonight with a
All right, that's a sad story, isn't it, about Nipsey Hussle, and the people of LA are really, really missing him. But to come up with a murderer this fast, well, he did seem like he was the guy, but, what's the story? What was it about, really? Was it a mix-up? What was the reason? What was the motivation? Why Nipsey was killed? Was it because he was pursuing a documentary on Dr. Sebi, who was killed in Honduras for exposing Big Pharma and the cancer industry? We'll find out later. A giant aquarium leaked in the shopping center and entertainment center, Oceana, west of Moscow. Witnesses filmed a stream of water beating out of the glass in the floor of a shopping entertainment center filled. Let's take a look at this in Moscow. Look at that. We have a leak. What are you going to do about a giant aquarium like that when it's leaking? That's something else. Yeah. That is something. I must say, they certainly have a beautiful aquarium. Maybe they should build a water slide and pump it up. You know, that's what I would probably do. And then pull the water out until you can get acrylic goop in there to seal that leak up. Thank you for that link, Bengalitis. That link of the leak. Oh, you need the splashing sound? I'm sorry. Some of you have to go to the bathroom. My mistake. Hang on. No, there is no splashing sound. Sorry. You lose. It's not me. It's not my son. My son is non-existent since I have no sons. But Beto O'Rourke, he's old enough to be my son, I guess. Not really. What is he, 45? I'm 58, going on 59 in April. And look at that. Wow, he's pretty old looking for 45, isn't he? I mean, I would have had to been 13 to give birth to him. Yeah, he's not my son either, because I don't have a son. Beto O'Rourke slammed for willful trivialization of the Holocaust. April something is my date. Yeah, I'm one of two signs, either an Aries or a Taurus. Democrat Beto O'Rourke was slammed by America's oldest and largest pro-Israel organization for engaging in a willful trivialization of the Holocaust, an attack he made on President Donald Trump. Wow. Yeah. I don't know what to think. I mean, it's kind of amazing. I would never deny the Holocaust, and this guy really must have flubbed when he did. But at this point, I really don't care. It comes under the, do I care what Beto says? Thank you. I mean, I'm offended that anyone would deny the Holocaust, these Hollohooks people. But I, too, am challenging an enlarged state of Zion who has one goal in mind, and that's a New World Order. I'm an anti-New World Order guy. I don't think Beto would even talk about that. That's the difference between me and Beto. I'm challenging the real corruption. He has no idea how deep into the corruption he is, apparently. Okay, Maxine Waters. And she praises Jussie. What's going on? Maxine Waters praises Justice Smollett dismissal. Correct thing that the charges were dropped. Maxine, do you have to pipe in every few minutes? I mean, come on. It's obvious corruption, man. You don't have to in any way think for a second. We are the first party in America. You know, George Washington said that we shouldn't have any parties at all. I agree. But we had to come up with an alternative to the first and second party, so we came up with America's third party. And we also used the header third party if you were tracking us on Twitter. Have no fear, we are here. We have a show every day, and it's published on Twitter. You can get into Twitter anytime you want and see our link to Periscope. I don't really like what's going on at the Vatican either, Pitoro. I'd like Pope Francis to follow more of my recommendations. I appreciate the fact that he listened to my recommendation about prosecuting McCarrick and Pell. Cardinal McCarrick and Pell have been implicated in child molestation issues. I appreciate that. And tell Pope Francis I appreciate that. He works for Pope Francis. So, and also tell him that we need to start working on the 1,000 pedophiles in America so that the Catholic Church can reboot their image. I think it's important. And I certainly want him to, prosper. I don't want any bad things to happen to this Pope, but if he is worshiping Lucifer, he's going to have to answer to God on that one. All right. I don't speak for God. And if you're not religious, welcome to the show, because we don't talk about religion here. Thank you. Dave, Christianity is intertwined with ancient Greek pedophilia. You're saying Martin Luther was a pedophile? That's the first I've ever heard of that. Could you expound on that, please? Because I've never heard that story. I've heard Muslims are associated with grooming boys and to be, yeah, sure, I've heard of that. Wow, Stephen King. I'm sorry that I can't see the content on Facebook. And please don't source any of your stuff, Max, from Facebook. They're controlled by the dark forces. Thank you. I don't know about that foreskin thing. I have no proof that rabbis, like Mordecai Rosenberg, the guy who cut off a boy's penis at the Tree of Life synagogue, the one that was just attacked with some sort of an attack. 11 men died. Ironically, their wives are really, really happy. I can't prove that Mordecai is indeed involved in that kind of thing. I have no knowledge of that, other than the fact that he cut a boy's penis off and they faced a big lawsuit before their big false flag. I mean, their event happened, whether it was true or not. Can we digress a little bit and talk about something related to technology? I think that's important. The video you're watching is based now on HTML5 over at Vaughn and operates on a backbone like this code. Very simple, whereas the video over at iBlog requires a Flash update, which will not be in any way managed past a certain time next year. Adobe is planning on eliminating Flash. So what iBlog is going to do at that time, I don't know. But Flash has been vulnerable, whereas this HTML5 is less vulnerable. If you want to learn more about it, this was given to us from Ghost, who knows a lot about coding, and he gave us this information. You can learn all about the video signal that you're getting right now. Hey, Silent Man, you're alive. Welcome. I haven't seen the Welcome Back Joe hilarious tweet. I did have a little link about Trump making a comment in here. Trump mocks Biden's space. Yeah. Trump mocks Biden's statement on personal space with a doctored video. Okay. 4 women have come forth saying they have been molested or touched indecently. 4 days, Biden didn't. He put out 3 statements through a spokesperson. Right. Let me read this from a bigger perspective. Hold on. Let me get my angle right. There we go. Okay. None of them was his own account or acknowledgement of the discomfort he had caused. That's true. On Wednesday, Biden decided he needed to address the matter and his future as a possible presidential candidate. He released a video vowing to be more mindful and respectful of people's personal space. Mr. Biden also stressed the role that personal connections had played in his political career. That's the video we want to play you. Yeah. Biden said he will be more sensitive to boundaries of protecting personal space in the future. That's the video that the mainstream media has not revealed what he said to this girl. He said, did she know how horny standing next to a 13-year-old girl makes him feel? And he also said, ask Ashley, his daughter, about the film. Now, what that means is really at the crux of what we need to work on here. And I've also got some other photographs of some pretty weird things that he has done recently with women and little girls. And I'm going to play you that video right now. Here we go. A 5-minute video I pieced together from other footage from other sources. And I did a little bit of improvement on the audio, but I'm still working on the audio of him saying that. I know Scissorfight did a great job of amplifying it. But again, we're having a hard time hearing exactly those words, but it is definitely a strange meeting. Let's watch a few encounters that Joe Biden's have that is not being revealed in the media right now.
Okay, right hand down. Here's the official. Now, guys, look up the center photographer up top.
Oh, there he is.
There you go. Can I go with Jess alone?
Very good.
At that point, he asked to be with this girl alone. Okay? Watch what, this is just what he does.
Dad's going to stand pretty close.
She's a lovely child. By the way, if I were young and I had I'd choose parties. Nice to see you. This is a long day. Walking. Don't tell me what you want to.
Now look at how that little girl is being kissed 3 times. And he's like right on it. The 3rd time she cringes. Look at that.
Here we go. Right, here we go. We put the Bible behind it. All right, come on, slide in here.
Thank you. Maggie, do you want to come over here? Come over here.
Come on, Maggie, make me look better, okay? There we go.
Do you guys mind moving this way? There we go. Right there. Perfect. Thank you.
You gotta look up at the center photographer up top of it. Here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, nice to see you.
Okay, now we're going to play Scissor Fight's version of this, which has maximum volume. Yep. And we're going to just kind of cover the territory here on this particular program, because I think we need to deal with this right away. The fact that it's been ignored in the media is pretty disturbing, and this is the one thing that would really derail his campaign, not the other ones. The other ones he can talk his way out of, but he can't talk his way out of this one. Now, again, I'm going to be working with this audio next week. I've imported it to another file. I've got some noise reduction tools. We should be able to get to the bottom of what's going on with Biden. But yeah, let's play Scissor Fight's version right now, which is very good. And you can definitely hear it. You have to prepare for an audio blast, though. It's going to be a little loud initially. Yes. Hold on just a second.
Times when he gently rearranges a young girl's hair and whispers in her ear, then rearranges some more. There's the more pervy here as he leans in for a kiss.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you heard it and saw it in script. So now let's play more of this video.
See you guys. Thank you. See you back home, I hope.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? Would you want your daughter to hold the Bible? You jump in the middle, Angel. You come right on this side of Mommy. No, you come over here. That's it. Keep going. You're going to stand right next to me. There you go. And then we're going to have
There you go.
Daddy put his left hand in the Bible if he can. If you can reach it and repeat, not repeat it. We're just going to, hey, man, here we go. You're about to enter, so help you God. God love you. You're a lucky man. You're a lucky man.
He's having fun. Thank you, sir.
No serious guys. You're 30
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What a beautiful thing. That's how old my children are.
Okay, he said to her not to date anyone until she's 31. All right.
Oh,
Good.
That'd be great.
come on, slide across. Get everybody in. We're going to switch here. You two come here.
There we go.
You got it? Okay.
Okay, and the people in the back, you can spread out a little bit, like that gentleman can spread out.
You can hold the Bible. Hang it down.
Now you notice he has his hand on her side. This is not necessary. I mean, to stand there with the child and be holding the child, gripping the child, is just weird.
Okay, right here, everybody. And everybody can look up.
We're going to look up the photographer up top.
Oh, there it is.
Everybody else is looking forward to
I can tell you. My daughter.
Now, I don't know what he said there. I have no idea what he said to her, but I'll look at that later when I examine the audio again.
Of course I would.
She couldn't make it.
What's her name? Come on. Okay, here we go. You ready? What a beautiful thing. All right, here we go.
All right. Watch this.
All right, we got up top here. Look up there.
Okay, out there.
Great.
Okay, got some more family people. Come on in. Yeah, we got a crowd.
Can we get some over here?
Sure.
Okay.
Someone go behind there. Go behind the fence.
Wait, say that. Keep the guys away.
Hey, Charlie.
Keep the guys away.
A young woman right here, a young girl. What's that hand? Look at it, creeping. She's like, get away from me. There it is. Look at the fingers. It's like he's walking. I mean, this is outrageous. This guy should be put away right now. Look at her. I'm out of here. It's like, look at that. Just right out in the open. This is absolutely disgusting. This is the vice president. This guy's a joke.
Hey, man. Okay. Man, what a great family. Come on. I like kids better than people.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just heard him say he likes kids better than people. All right?
All right?
All right.
Okay, everybody, there's a couple people in the back. I
Yeah, you can't see her.
Okay, I think we're done. Thank you. And I'm glad you spent the time necessary to see that. We're done talking about Joe Biden, everybody. Thank you for putting up with that. That's all they've got. That's pretty much it. Yeah. It was very weird. The little girl instinctively pulled away, yes. And I'm more than concerned. Again, we don't have any solid evidence of any malfeasance on his end beyond that. I'm grossed out too, where a lot of us are very, very put off. It was way worse than just grabbing people's necks and kissing their hair and rubbing noses and butting foreheads. It's all about grabby with Uncle Joe. So this is a very, very sanitized version that I presented to you so that you at least look at the facts, and you, the court of public opinion, can make the decisive decision in your vote in the upcoming election. And you're also going to have to weigh other factors like Beto O'Rourke's hit and run, where he tried to run from the scene of an accident where he nearly killed a bunch of people. And especially after finding out that he was in a hacking group when he was young and actually wrote an essay on how he wanted to murder children, Beto O'Rourke. You'll have to look at Kamala Harris's family and her experience with her family rejecting her recently because she's kind of a televised prima donna. And you'll have to wonder what kind of a person is she that her family doesn't even support her. And did she work her way up through the ranks in California government by sleeping around? That's another allegation about Kamala that's going to be popping up all over the place. There's also questions of veracity all over the place on the Republican Party on Donald Trump's side. So we've got all that to sort out and figure out why people are even voting for the two parties when they're so corrupt. Okay, thank you. We're all prepared for a wonderful evening. Yes.
I put some
chili in the microwave.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. I'm going to go feed my house guest. I'll be back. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out. Sarah has been very helpful. We made a wonderful chicken fajita wrap dinner. Oh, really? Yeah, it's that look, the 48-hour look. That's the hairstyle I was working for.
I'm gonna get one thank you for
Okay.
you.
No problem. I just have a family member that we're, having visit us. It's no big deal. I don't know the answer to that, Jacket. I do know that Max is in the room right now. He's in the pro-cam section, and he's gone without food. He's dieting.
I had to do this. Avocados are code for... Oh, gosh. Can you take off the green screen?
Sure, hang on.
Avocados. 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 And avocados.
These are all the bags that you won't be able to buy.
This is David's current collection of avocados.
Yep.
He loves avocados.
I do. And you won't be able to buy those in the future if Donald Trump shuts down the border. I prepared. I've got at least enough to, eat for a couple of weeks, but
yes,
barely.
Today I did clean the bathroom, Antique. Thanks for asking.
I'll be back.
How
Thank
did you
you.
know? I have to admit, I'm more of I don't do a thorough cleaning all the time like I did today, but since it's spring break, I thoroughly cleaned the bathrooms. Yes, thoroughly. And then but the thing I've been really doing with this spring break is that KonMari method of cleaning. Yes, there are avocado trees in California, but maybe David wouldn't have access to avocados all year, which he really likes. Thanks. Yeah, my skirt has this print. The top is just like a blue. All right. But yes, David would love to live on an avocado farm. Peeling really bad. That's funny, Jacket Pockets. Oh, that's a good idea. I'll tell David that. If I had room in my fridge. Currently, I don't have a lot of room in my refrigerator. But if I did have room in my refrigerator, that's not me, 561. That person is impersonating me, and I will be contacting Twitter shortly to let them know that. But if I did have room in my refrigerator, I'd tell David to put some in the refrigerator. David just eats them like all the time. Ooh, maybe he knew something. 425 has a link from the Hill. Obama is quiet as Biden comes under attack. Yeah, maybe they are. Victory for cake, maybe so. Yeah, so anyway, thanks for the information about putting the avocados in the refrigerator. And I think that's about it. Oh, and I've been cleaning a lot, and I'm looking forward to going back to school. I had this big discussion with David this morning, and I just thought, it's because I'm here all day for a week around David, which is great. Wait, what did David put? He said he will, maybe he will. Oh, 429 says don't refrigerate the avocados, they'll turn black. Wait, maybe we can just refrigerate one and see. If it has the skin on, it shouldn't turn black. It's gonna snow again there tomorrow, Maxed Out Credit. Man, I was gonna... Well, at least you'll be in getting your colonoscopy. And
Yeah, somebody gave us a good idea. I put 2 of those in the fridge. Just
one person thinks they'll turn black.
Oh, really?
But 2 is perfect because then you can do an experiment.
I'll experiment.
Did you put the Damascus knife away?
Yeah, I'm doing that now.
Okay. Well, I think if they're... Well, David used to eat avocados that were... I've also heard you can... And that doesn't make sense because you can refrigerate guacamole and it doesn't turn black. All right. Hello, Silent Man. I like that you type, even if you are actually silent. Sometimes I think that's what I was thinking today. Sometimes I just want silence. David loves to talk about, well, you know everything. He loves to talk. I'm not going to invest in the liquid nitrogen to flash freeze the avocados. Well, we're halfway through the week. Well, we got more than halfway through the week, so Saudi, but at least liquid nitrogen's cheap. I don't know. $12 a pound. That's more expensive than meat or have his avocados. I don't think I'm going to do that. But you probably only need an ounce or so to freeze them. Oh, government spyware has been found masquerading as Android apps. Wow. Thank you, Lucha. Is it Lucha or Luca? Yes, back to school on Monday. I had a week off, spring break. But I'll be back at school. And I was thinking it's going to be really great because I have a certain, I teach science. And we have these bees that I glued onto toothpicks so they can move their bee around. And the bee will, the tulips are finally blooming. So I'm going to take some tulips from my yard and have them move the bee to different parts of the tulip and look at the bee and see how it collects the pollen. I've never done this before. It was part of our curriculum. So it should be interesting. The fajitas were great, especially with the spicy chili. David had the chili and I just took a bite of it last night. I was like, whoa, that's very spicy. But it just perfectly melded with the fajita mix. So it was really good. Yeah, if I had that many avocados, that would be good. I do have a white jacket, but I was thinking of sending it like a white lab coat. But I'm thinking of sending it, getting rid of it. Because it does bring me a little joy, but not enough to wear it all the time. I am not a member of any clubs. I don't do a science show on public TV. I could, but I don't. Just wearing the lab coat will inspire girls to get into science. What about just wearing like this? No? Doesn't work? Yeah, I'm the only club member I am is this. I did jacket pockets. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Last year was a pretty phenomenal year, at least for my local school, for my school, not like district wide or statewide or anything. Oh, thank you, 879. I also got my master's degree, which I'm very proud of. And I was going through a lot of my paperwork today and all my memories, sentimental things, which was very good. Oh, a cup of that stuff. Wait, what? You have to take a cup every 10 minutes of that prep? 1 cup every 10 minutes? Make sure you drink some water in between that. I hated the taste of the stuff. Some of the stuff. I don't know which one was. Yeah.
That was incredible. Adding that chili really made the difference.
Yeah, I was saying that. I was just telling them that with that chili, it really it was like the perfect melt because the chili on itself was a little spicy for me, but it perfectly took it out.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's Colite. Yeah, I think oh my goodness, that's a lot of stuff.
You guys take that before tomorrow?
I only had to do phospho soda, and then the other time they gave me, I don't know, something smaller. But yeah, 879, thank you. It was quite a year. I also got an Excellence Award. I was writing down all the things that I accomplished when I turned 40. It's wow, it was an amazing year. It was an amazing year. I did help our school get a national award too.
You had a banner year.
Yeah, I had
you really
a banner
had a banner
year.
year. It's been awesome for you. 2019 is a really productive year for you.
Yeah. I took a break from my favorite conference that year. But that's because I was so busy. But I went to that conference. Well, I went at the end of it. I went right after I turned 41. I went to my favorite conference. What did they recommend for your diverticulitis? Did you have to go in busy and have something like some kind of surgery done? 2 liters already, wow. I am not a member of the Rotary Club or any other organization. Well, wait. I joined the National Science Teachers Association. You have 2 liters to go and you already drank 2 liters? Wow. Oh, you have to watch your diet and slow mobility, like you don't walk around enough, or it just doesn't move through your system enough. Probably need more roughage like lettuce and carrots and vegetables, Brussels sprouts. That's cool. New York NYPD1 and Mad Dog, hello to each other. I like that. Why is Europe falling apart? I don't think it's related to Brexit. I could be related to all of their immigration issues. Why do you think they're falling apart? I mean, I don't, maybe they're not falling apart. Maybe it's all just propaganda. You have to eat baby food and smoothies for, you had to eat that for 2 years when you got this virus? Wow. I wonder what. There we go. Okay. More cowbell. Nice. Yeah, I think it probably is healthy. I don't always shave mine. I could probably shave my armpits more often. But it is good because then it's just, otherwise tons of sweat collects there and collects and stays there. I think shaving is a form of cleaning. Wow. Thank you, Froggy. Thanks, Silent Man. I appreciate it. Okay. I'm always drawn when I'm sitting here talking to you guys. I'm more drawn to like read the news where I should be interacting with you. But I guess my week was short and I don't have too much to share. I don't want to go into the conversations that David gets into. I just don't want to. There's things that David talks about that I'm like, All right, I like this one. Thank you, Maxed Out Credit. Is clutter sabotaging your spiritual life? Yes. Not me, but some people. Ooh, and the proper way to clean your room from the KonMari method. Yes. Tip 1. Let me mute this. Begin with clothes. She says, gather, it is using the KonMari method. You must do these steps in order. Decide what to keep or discard. Designate a home for each item. Tidy by category, not by location. Like, don't just do your closet, do all of your clothes, wherever you store them. Bring them all and stack all of your clothes in one area. Get them all. Get them from the closets. Get them from your basement. Get them from your attic. Bring them in. Hold them in your hands and ask, does this spark joy for me? I like this. And then, and if not, you can say, thank you for being my clothes. And I'm going to let you go. Maybe you'll, and I like to donate them so they might spark joy for someone else. And there might even be an, I don't know what to do pile, a donation pile, and a, oh my goodness, got to get rid of it pile. Oh, she's washing her clothes. All right, that's a good video. I'll leave you at that. No, here, I'll give you guys a link. Jacket Pockets gave me the link, and this is basically it in a nutshell. I think you should try the KonMari method next. It will open up your mind and your the video you just sent me reminds me of thanks, Pitoro. Pitoro, the one you gave me sounds like this book I found my grandpa gave me called the Kai Method. Do I garden all year, or how many months do I garden? Open your mind. I like that. There is a book about gardening all year here, but you really can't garden in January. December and January, I don't garden at all. Winter break, no gardening on winter break. Yeah, exactly. Good job, Mad Dog. I hope that works out. Oh. You got rid of a hairdryer and a hairbrush because they weren't making you happy and you got new ones? I'm not a big fan of getting rid of stuff just to get rid of it to get stuff you do like. But actually, I mean, if you like something, yeah, yeah, that's good. No, I'm not going to, not signed in. But I do have to plant on Tuesdays. Is usually when I do my gardening. And I'm going to have a whole bunch of peas to plant. And I'm going to have some broccoli I need to redo. I have done I looked at the Feng Shui thing a little bit. But no, I don't do Feng Shui. In fact, my bedroom, I think, is set up the opposite of Feng Shui. Oh, your hairdryer was reminding you of your old house. Yeah, and you could donate the perfectly functioning hairdryer. I wouldn't donate a hairbrush, but that's just me. Yeah, I have some snap pea plants in there like this big last time I checked, which was yesterday. So they're definitely ready to go in the garden. Right now they're sitting in these 4-inch potting soil things. Blocks, they're called. So I'm gonna be ready to plant them. I'm gonna wait till Tuesday though. But yeah, that'll be good. Oh, good. And then I had broccoli plants, but some of them dried out. You have a solar-powered hairdryer? David would totally let me have that. Yes. That's a good idea. A solar-powered hairdryer. No need. You don't have to. Why don't you use it? Oh, you don't use it because you don't have any hair. Or do you use it? Yeah, homegrown peas should be good. I also have some carrots growing in my garden. Yeah, David could use it too. That's true. A bicycle-powered hairdryer? Yeah. I guess so, clicked up. So that will be good. I would, I think growing enough food for myself would be a huge task. Because I eat a lot of food every day. Oh, okay. You're going electric, huh? I didn't know you have to dry that out. Well, I guess so it doesn't get moldy. You bought 2 big porcelain salad plates for $1.29 at the Goodwill. Jacket Pockets. Did they spark joy for you? That's cool. You see, I love thrift stores and consignment stores. I used to be embarrassed that I only shopped at thrift stores when I was a kid. But not that embarrassed because that's like the only place I shopped for clothes. In fact, oh yeah, I have some stories. Yes, and garage sales, true, maxed out credit. My mom would do the garage sales. We'd go to garage sales a lot. And I would get hand-me-downs as well. I was the third oldest, so... And... Yeah. So I would get hand-me-downs. Yes, you were summoned. I don't think that was you summoning yourself, though, Howie. Hello, Xenu. Xenu, did you try my method? Because Mad Dog's going to try my method. Go say, wow, you're beautiful. You're gorgeous. Well, one or the other. Don't say both. That might be a little too much. Wow, you're so pretty. Can we go get coffee? Sometime.
Yeah, I love the vibe of clean surfaces.
I know, isn't that nice?
So great, yeah. I'm really liking it. I'm going to do it with everything myself, too. I'm generally a neat person, though. You know?
Yes, you're a very neat person.
Yeah, well, I'm neat generally. I'm not a neat freak, but...
yeah, well, yeah.
I was accused of that at one point by a woman I met.
But you do have a lot of things.
I like things clean. Yeah, I like to live in a clean environment, even if it's just a hotel room. You know, I like hotel rooms that are clean.
Antique. Not only did I tell David saw your typing,
I did.
And he immediately put 2 avocados in the refrigerator already.
2 bags.
2 bags?
Yeah.
I thought it was just like 2 avocados. Because somebody in the other chat room said they will turn black.
Yeah, I'm going to pull 1 bag out now, just because I agree with them. I'm going to be a little bit more cautious.
Oh, I wonder if she shows how to fold clothes in here with the KonMari method.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm just going to be... And if he shuts down the border in the next week, I have enough avocados to survive. But beyond that, I'll go into avocado detox and withdrawal. The symptoms of avocado withdrawal is you start to feel like you're not, 100%. You don't have that get up and go. You got up and went. Avocados give you that superfood capability. Huh? Yeah, so you're that old that you just recently watched Bohemian Rhapsody and you found out Freddie Mercury was gay? Okay, whatever, It seems like the Democrats are trying to appease the LGBTQ community all the time. I think that's a voting bloc that will stay in the Democratic Party. I'm okay with that. I'm not a Hillary supporter, no. I don't support any of those people in the Democratic Party. Why do you think I started this? That's what you're looking at.
I was looking at the KonMari folding method for people.
Oh, yeah.
We should play that sometime. Let's play that.
This woman has revolutionized the lives of countless people. Do people know about her?
Well, I don't know if I can
put it on the screen?
Okay.
Just put a still frame of... This woman has influenced... Oh, sorry. Wrong one. This woman has influenced...
Me.
Sarah in a great way. Her name is Marie Kondo.
Yeah.
And she is Japanese. She does not speak any English.
She speaks some English.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought she was being translated. Well, okay, that's enough. 8 seconds. Otherwise, she'll monetize us.
Let me just show this.
This is the drawer that she does.
So basically, she says fold everything into a rectangle and then have it sitting up on end. Because my thing is, I was like folding T-shirts and then I'd stack the T-shirts on top of each other, and I'd only see the T-shirt that was on top, and I would be like, I know that T-shirt's in there somewhere. And I wouldn't know where it was, except it's in a stack. And then sometimes it wasn't in that stack, it would be in the other stack, and I'd have to go through both stacks to find it. Whereas if she does it like you stack everything, you fold it into this rectangle, and then you can see all of your items when you open up the drawer.
I want to shop at Aldi's sometime. I have not been to an Aldi's, but I've been to Trader Joe's, but I want to go to an Aldi's somewhere in America sometime this year.
My drawer looks almost as good as that one.
Okay.
Maybe even better because I like my clothes better than I like this.
I like your drawer better because your clothes are superior to hers. So I mean, poor Marie Kondo doesn't, or Alicia's.
That's not.
It's Alicia.
But those things are good for Alicia.
It's all good for her. It brings her joy, you know. And I'm glad Alicia's got joy.
I haven't read Adora Welty.
You have a doppelganger? Let's take a look at that. You're scombing like the internet looking for people that look like Sarah. Yeah, we know that. Yeah. That's an actress that was very famous.
Did you meet her? You were saying something?
No, I met a woman named Catherine Ross. This woman is different. This is the woman that's... Oh,
do you think I look like her?
Not as much as... no.
Maybe.
She had a cleft chin. You don't have a cleft chin. You have a slightly cleft chin, but not an extreme cleft chin.
Yeah, I do a little bit.
It is, yeah, you do. There's a cleft chin there, you're right.
My dad has a big cleft chin.
Yeah. This is the woman, see what I mean about this program?
You have to go on the outside. Do you want me to do it for you?
I'll do it. I used to be good at this.
Why don't you just put it over here?
No, I agree. There it is.
I know.
All right, so this is the woman that Sarah is supposed to look like. I'm going to flip it around so she can look more like her. And then we'll get that look that you're looking for. This is who Mad Dog thinks Sarah looks like.
We can't match up my
You kind of dive into it. There you go. And then
oh, that looks good.
Okay, a little bit different nose. I think this woman had a different nose than her. Yeah. All right, thank you for your sharing moment, Mad Dog. That's nice. I like your wig. I forgot to wear my wig last night. I had this wig lined up, and I didn't know a wig. My hair looked good, so I didn't wear a wig. I don't have a wig. This is my real hair. But I kind of skipped Wig Wednesday last night. Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, you look pretty good with that brown wig you have. That makes your hair your hair looks great.
I'm not wearing a wig.
I know.
Okay.
Thank you, Sarah. Enjoy it. There's more of that fajita if you want to get it when it's warm. It's pretty good stuff. You might want to have a second helping.
Did you have some?
I had a little bite, yeah. Just leave me a little at the end and I'll just...
Because I could totally go for a second one.
Have another helping, please. A Tony Curtis curl with that hair? Yeah. We're not disclosing anything right now. We have a private life. We have a right to our private life. When we get a visitor, we invite them in. You know, I'm not the kind of family member that wouldn't take a family member in. I have family members that wouldn't have family members in on a moment's notice, believe it or not. Yeah, so I no longer have them as family members. Well, that's one way to not have family members like that don't take people in who are family members. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. But at least it's better than me being a robot. This is so much nicer than me being a CGI character, having a real hair and everything. Okay, we're getting back into the... We exposed something last week that I think everyone needs to know about. Hello there, Inventor Jim. Jeff Bezos did an exhaustive search of where that sex pic came out. And by the way, he's getting a pretty good deal, a 75-25 split with his wife, his ex-wife. She's getting $35 billion. He's getting the remainder. So he did pretty well. But I don't know how she muscled that. I mean, she could have had an attorney insist on a 50-50 split. I still don't know why she gave up 25% of her equity. I'm trying to figure that one out. I don't get that. He must have been mouthing off pretty loud to stop her from actually, giving him that Yeah, that extra money. Anyway, he did an exhaustive search and found out that the source of the file, of the text messages and the picture of his penis, actually came from Saudi Arabia. Isn't that amazing? So in honor of him, let's just take a look here and see what he has to say. Jeff, what are you saying? Anyway, he's in good shape. He's doing great, and he doesn't have any hair, so he doesn't have to worry about having hair. How long do you think this thing with Sanchez is going to last? I know. Do you think you're going to retain your assets after your wife realizes she got taken to the cleaners for 25%? By any good attorney would have grabbed another 25%. Who the hell did she hire? Mortimer Schnurd? I mean, any good attorney would have gotten her 50%. What the hell? You made out? Dude, you cleaned up. I know. He did real good. Well, that's because she felt sorry for him, and the whole thing. He probably told her that the cost of his penis pic to suppression is costing him even more than he could ever imagine. It's not easy to hire expert cyber terrorist experts. Even you're having a good time. Look at you. There he is. Inventor Jim's having a hacking fit. Hang on just a second. Hold on, buddy. You get some water. You took a big hit there. Right on. That was Inventor Jim. This is Jeff Bezos. Anyway, good luck, buddy. Now we got to go to that link that we got from Donald Trump. Where the heck did it go? Here we go. Donald Trump on Twitter. He has a response to Joe Biden, and I want to play this. Somebody said it's hilarious. That's right, Max. We have you on camera, Max. We have you always on camera, Max. We're always looking. Here we go.
I shake hands, I hug people, I grab men and women. I shake hands, I hug people, I grab men and women by the shoulders and say, you can do this. And whether they're women, men, young, old, it's the way I've always been. It's the way I've tried to show I care about them and I'm listening.
That's pretty funny. All right.
I shake hands, I hug
well, even Joe Biden gets spoofed by Trump. I'm not really. I'm not going to kick a horse around, especially if it looks a little lifeless. If we can't pull up any more dirt on Joe Biden than telling a 13-year-old girl how horny he got next to her, we're going to have to do a little bit better. Remember, we have a president who's already committed adultery or allegedly committed adultery twice with his wife and refuses to admit it. Hey, welcome to 153. Excellent. Thank you. I can't wait to try it. I'm going to go check it out. Thank you. I've been checking my mail lately. It takes time. Wow. I'm going to service at PayPal. Oh, yeah. We made our payment. Good. Yeah. I'm just checking to see if I got an email from somebody. Yeah. Huh. Sent mail. I'll check it out. Okay. Great, I got it. Thank you very much. The thing about Gmail, you got to go back and read. Thank you very much, man. Thanks for helping. Appreciate it, Scissor Fight. We are going to be on 153news.net. Yay! We're fighting back because 153news.net has been open to all kinds of postings, and many people on the internet who are seeking shared information are constantly looking for ways to upload And it's really important that we have a backup, especially considering YouTube's been kicking people off lately. Yeah. I hope to, have a really cool account, and now I'm going to be more interested in making videos. Yeah, for a long time I got out of the video production sector, and I really enjoy it, and I'm still working my way back in. But it takes certain commitment to make new videos when you get censored, like I was about in 2009. So now that we have another venue, we know that we can do things that are extraordinary and not worry. Thanks, Cliff. Appreciate it. Well, but most of all, keeping our show going for the past 10 years has been a huge boost for our efforts, and there's no way you can underestimate the power of constancy. And I noticed that when early on in the internet, when people started watching, there were a few people that dipped off for just a short while, and their viewership on various networks dropped substantially. Whoa. And they became kind of a, flash in the pan kind of thing. We just kept a constant presence, and it wasn't like I was going to stand around and go, wow, I wish I could have as many YouTube bits as Shay Carl or whoever, or Sexy Phil. It was more like, hey, I think we just need to keep doing this process, because this is the most important interactive type of process you can do to prepare for political change. Interaction is key. Trump chickens out from complete Trump-tard border shutdown. Oh, okay, so he's not going to shut the border down? I guess Mitch McConnell kind of pulled his string. It's almost like Trump is a kid, and he wants to go out and play, and he can't play. I'm going to shut the border down, dang it, and you can't, what? I won't have your support? Okay. Yeah, Fox News is trying to leftify. Donna Brazile. Yeah, she helped Hillary steal a primary from Bernie, and Donna is a seasoned professional. You got to understand, 214 Dallas, the two parties are working together as part of a controlled political structure. That's the first premise that we build this third party on. The two parties are innately corrupt is the second premise I build these two parties on. Giving you the illusion of choice, left versus right, is part of their game. Not having an alternative in the middle, we being the alternative, that's another game, keeping us out, censoring us. But the corruption that's endemic in the two-party system is not going away anytime soon, I assure you. They're entrenched. So we're going to see left and right on TV all the time, and they're going to bounce back and forth, and we're going to see all kinds of displays of pomp and circumstance and threats. The Democrats don't have a leader. I'm sorry, but I don't think Adam Schiff is leading. He isn't strident enough in attacking the Republicans' solid desire to protect Trump no matter what. But I think that we are seeing some movement, a little bit of movement, but not enough. Because right now, Adam Schiff has got a lot of people wondering what's going on, Are you the man you claim you're going to be? Because I would have had an impeachment hearing moving forward by now. And unfortunately, we're waiting on Adam Schiff. So, Adam, are you ready to have your bowel movement? Or whatever movement's going on? Yes, David, I am. I'm very happy that you could share my name in the show. And I'm very stridently concerned about Donald being, needs to be impeached. All right. Well, thank you, Adam, for your piping in. We need a little something more than just, Yeah, and I don't think Maxine Waters has got what is happening, man. I don't think so. She's just a little too far left to be really relevant. We know now from the news, which is probably more relevant at this point. No, it doesn't look like her at all. Sorry. Wrong guy. And try not to present some of your transgender friends, Ann, in the show. Yeah, I'm not that sensitive to the LGBTQ movement, I don't want to discriminate against you, though. But I think the most significant story today is the fact that I'm getting a phone call right now. Okay, so this is just in. Just in. Just in time news. Trump walks the threat. So thank goodness. I was having an avocado revolt in my mind. Boy, that was a close one. Yeah, I had to stock up on avocados. Yeah, this is the story that really is kicking everybody in the butt right now, not the one about Trump and the border. Some of Mueller's team say report was more damaging than Barr revealed. Thank you, Eric, for good. I was reaching for that story. You must have known me long enough to know that's where I was headed. So some of the report was covered up by Bill Barr. Yep. So we're looking at a guy who's been working with Zionists, AIPACs, Russian oligarchs, whoever, who's pushing the Donald Trump takeover of our country by illegal means. And William Barr was one of them. He wrote a 19-page letter to Rod Rosenstein saying he should not investigate Michael Flynn and should drop all obstruction charges against the president. He's clearly biased. Now, this man, when he took office, should have recused himself for writing that letter. But now he's going to be facing charges. I'll be issuing charges as President of the United States against him for trying to rig the process by which we are getting the truth about Donald Trump and the Russians. Okay, you want me to show Michelle? That's a little big expectation we have from... Let's go there right now. Michelle Obama's penis, everyone. Thank you. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you Michelle Obama's penis. Now, you can't see anything because she's fully clothed, but you can see the outline of what appears to be something. A battle of the bulge, that's right. Try not to listen too closely, otherwise you'll hear the voice of Satan. All right, thank you. Let's turn the volume down on that. It's a little weird. Well, okay, we're done. Is that enough of a fix for you? Okay. Sorry you were so wigged out there for a while. Yeah, I can't help you beyond that. Is that okay? Anybody need cowbell as a backup, or are you good? Okay. Fukushima, Fukushima, men have named you. The radiation burning our skin to the core. No proof Trump... No, there's a lot of... No, it's total collusion. Yes, I just showed the money shot. You're getting a little bit too tiresome, yeah. Well, the proof is in the fact that Donald Trump is still hiding his 10 years of tax returns right there. Let's start there. And remember when he said he'd show us all the tax returns? This may be the very only contact between the left and the right in America right now going on in this chat room. Yeah, show me why he didn't present his 10 years of tax returns. Let's start with that. Okay? Thank you. We're waiting, know the truth. Well, it would show a trail of money from Russia and payoffs. Houses bought for double their value. And we'd also like to know why Manafort wasn't tried on the money laundering charges involving moving houses at a double their value cost in Florida so that Trump could sell them. In fact, if Cindy Yang hadn't bought that $30 million house in Florida, way overpriced, by the way. I checked the market, Donald. If Cindy Yang hadn't done that, Donald was SOL for money right around the time he became president. Yeah, we want to know that. That's why we want to know the 10 years. You're dodging the question. Why are you holding back on the 10 years? It doesn't matter. Let's find out. Let's see how much movement went on with the money. Yeah. Without seeing the 10 years of tax returns, we have to assume Donald Trump is guilty. Next. Thank you. Okay. So you present the 10 years and then we'll talk, okay? Until then, we're talking billions. Yeah. That's a Trump impersonator, Max? Oh, really? Oh. Yeah, we don't show make-believe stories about Trump and the KKK. It's bad enough his dad, exactly, it's bad enough his dad was in the KKK in 1929. But I'm glad that John Goodman is being considered for the role of William Barr, a U.S. traitor, working for Russia. I don't know, but it certainly looks like we've got a match. And with his weight loss, he is a close second. Yes, John Goodman, go for it. Well, the Democrats, you understand, his father was involved, Cliff, with In 1929, he was caught and charged. They arrested him at a 1929 KKK rally. Fred Trump. And did you hear that Donald Trump insists that his dad was born in Germany? And all his records say he was born in America? Have you heard about that? Donald Trump still is running around saying, no, that's not true. My father was born in Germany. Germany. What's the deal? I mean, he doesn't even know where his father was born? I mean, come on. Is this guy on the autistic scale or what? Yeah, thank you. Well, you may support Trump in his effort to work for the oligarchs, the Russian oligarchs, and AIPAC. You may wonder why we're so deeply tied to Israel at the hip. It's because these Zionists have implanted themselves in the two-party system for years. And we're just kind of working our way to realization time. You'll have to excuse the Goyim. It takes a long time for them to realize they're being screwed royally. Thank you. Well, anyway, getting back to the toilet. Yeah, we got a lot of problems in this country, and it's not getting any better. Whoa! Are you serious? That is wonderful, isn't it? Well, there you have it, everybody. We've done the best we could, but we haven't stopped. And we can't stop. We won't stop. We keep this going every night against all... I'm not Ric Flair, dude. Yeah. I have a brain. Not that he doesn't. But, yeah. I didn't just start this yesterday. I've been doing this a while. I started in 2008. Literally. 10 years gone by.
Hi, I'm David John Sponheim. It's been about 100 days since Barack Obama took office as President of the United States. In that time period, he spent close to $3.2 trillion. Money we don't have.
Money we'll never have. And when I went back on screen and decided to, tell people what I was doing in the comfort of my own green screen, it became imperative that I continue doing the show. So in lieu of that, I'm going to let the show continue.
With Barack Obama, they chose a man that told them what they wanted to hear, not what they needed to hear, and not what we need to do. Barack Obama has no experience in business. He clearly is running this country into the ground, spending way too much money, $3.2 trillion within the first 100 days. That's a big mistake. I believe our country is in dire shape. I believe the economy is getting worse under Barack Obama, and these past 100 days have been the worst anyone could possibly have imagined.
Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't realize how bad they were because, it became more and more obvious that Barack Obama was going to cost our country another $350 billion a year. And everybody who went there to complain in the early days were unable to actually find a way to convince him to stop this Obamacare nightmare. Yeah. So here I am, trying to do the right thing. That was out the sunshine, Eric. That was back then. That was 10 years ago. Yeah. Ben who? Are you Ben here? Are you going to talk about Ben? Ben Shapiro? I'm sorry, are you the AIPAC division that came in here? Are you representing AIPAC tonight, guys? Because you certainly seem like it. The beer industry is down 9%. Avocados just went up 30%. We're all a little pissed, thanks to Donald Trump. Let's talk about solar technology. Yeah, good idea. You know that the Army Corps of Engineers developed solar technology a few years ago that they never really mass-produced, which I think could be mass-produced. And when you look at the idea of solar rooftops and the concept of building solar rooftops on houses just like this. Here's a typical house. in a typical neighborhood. Yeah, every house facing south could have a solar rooftop. And voila. Ta-da! Solar rooftop to the rescue. Welcome to my CGI world. So no, seriously, the idea of solar rooftops can be delivered with our government's operation. They actually have the ability to move these things out and about. Here is a solar carpet being deployed. I'm sorry, we can't show the Larry Sinclair at this point. Sorry. We're talking about actual subjects right now. Zeno, it's time to focus. Your brain is a little bit off in La La Land. Wanting to see things like that shows me your relative intelligence is below the norm here. You're going to have to step it up a couple notches. Yeah, eat blueberries. That might improve your brain power. Because right now you're pushing about a 90 IQs, you know. Thank you. That's right, Howie. You got a 95 IQ and you recognize that. So we got a couple people with under 100 IQs communicating in the room. Bravo! At least you can communicate. Maybe you could hang out. You probably like money. You like money too? You should hang out. So this revolution of solar power capability could easily be coming out of the government. They can team up with other companies to build these things. We can roll them. Well, yeah, when you told me you read 1,000 books, Howie, I didn't realize you just talked about reading the cover. Anybody can walk into a library and scan the covers of thousands of books and say, I read them all. I like the way you talk. Mm-hmm. I like mustard in my taters. Mm-hmm. What is an inverted yield year? What are you talking about? Recession? Oh, we're already at a recession. I don't need to worry about an inverted yield curve and why is it bad. Yeah, thank you though. We have what are called liquidity traps. I'm sure you're not. We have a thing called liquidity traps that are sucking money into a vortex of greedy people's hands. Our military is just one of those things. When Barack Obama, oh God, for fear how many dollars he wasted, he threw $530 million at a company called Solyndra, and it's gone. That's your tax money gone. Yeah. I'm sorry, you're not. I have 185 IQ, and you're pushing 100 right now, Zena. Your obsession with wanting to see Larry Sinclair and then Michelle Obama is highly indicative of a person with a subpar intelligence level. I'm just being frank. Yeah. All right, we're going to close down the Solar Power Show. I'm glad you could hang out watching it. Solyndra solar panels are hard to find anymore. Yeah. You want to do Larry Sinclair? You know, he hasn't been seen in a long time. He is not here at present. He is unable to attend your session. Were you looking to get a massage from Larry Sinclair or something? See, here you are steering the conversation toward Larry Sinclair. When I want to talk about tech. Well, let's be clear. You can't mess with me and by talking about ridiculous subjects. That's right. We have the technology to morph people's faces now. Everything's possible. It's called a transitionary mode. Hi. I think Dave's doing a great job. I think it's wonderful. I don't know. My voice is starting to change. I am looking more like Ocasio. Maybe I should just look like this all the time. That's much better. Yeah, it's like she's got that look. All right, we're done with that. Okay, I don't want to trouble you with any of my problems. Oh no, is Oprah gonna win or run, or what's Oprah gonna do? Is she gonna do another attempt at the presidency? Is she gonna run? Because I have not seen her name in the ballot box. All right. You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension of both sight and sound, of both things and ideas. You just entered the Matrix. Faces of Meth. That's whatever that is Oprah. That's one of those pictures when she wasn't really in the makeup mode. Blah. David, you're gatekeeping Obama's homosexual activity by not showing Larry Sinclair. You see, again, you're frustrating the entire situation by focusing on what you want, not what's best for the group. Didn't your mother teach you your intelligence quotient was not that high? I don't know, man. Are you saying that looked like a transgender Oprah? No, that's actually Oprah prior to her makeup artist. It was a candid picture. She can't be blamed. Come on. She looks probably better than I do. I mean, when you think about it. I mean, I look pretty good, but she looks better than me. Now, David, you're being very cruel. Oh, whatever. I don't care. Mueller leaked, so it begins. Yay. Thank you, Scissor Fight. When I see these images of Mueller leaking, it brings good feelings, like America is not lost forever. Bring back America. I have several stories to report in this article. I apologize for rehashing of events, but these events are key to understanding the Mueller investigation. They must be understood and examined. Okay, let me get into the show. Let's read this. First, the Mueller report has been has been leaked. Uh-oh. Thank you. The Mueller report has been leaked, and Rudy Giuliani, Trump's personal attorney, has given his verdict. He calls the Democrats sneaky, unethical leakers and rabid Democrats involved in the Mueller probe. We knew that they were all that, and I guess it's no longer illegal to leak those things, since the Democrats have done it now since Hillary Clinton allowed dead classified documents to be leaked, but it has not stopped. Hillary made it legal since he is not charged. Okay, blah, blah, blah. This is not a good story. It doesn't help me at all. No. When they investigated Carter Page, this guy's saying, going back to the article, Carter Page, by the way, was told by the FBI not to go forward to the meeting with the Russians because they said they were recruiting people to be spies. The FBI told Carter Page that. He went back to Trump and conferred, and then went back and went ahead and met the Russians anyway. This guy feels like Page was not a victim, but he was a plan from the beginning as a Trump campaign assistant. I don't buy that story. What is this, QAnon? Investment Watch? I don't trust the whole story. The whole story is just garbage. Thank you. Wow, it didn't take me long to find that one out. Now, Sarah's been doing a lot of cleaning, and she's really taking spring break seriously. I've never seen a more amazing focus on cleaning, and it's just phenomenal. She said that this movement is growing around the country. Is clutter sabotaging your spiritual life? There you go. I know the digital circuitry behind my head is bothering me. Yeah.
Barack Obama has spent close to $3.2 trillion.
Yeah. I'm bitter. I'm a little less pale there. You really want me to unban a dude who passed away? I don't think I can do that morally. I'm not interested in having a seance here with Juan Gabriel. Is this offending you? Oh, I'm sorry. Some of you Republicans are getting a little squeamish. Hey, let's talk about sex crime stats. What do you say? Hello. Interesting. Whoa, that's amazing. Look at that. You're looking at the largest sector of sex offenders, registered sex offenders in the world. Excuse me, in the United States. And you notice the large circle around the DC area? That's something to think about. It's relevant to our story about how corruption is dominating our country's politics. Think about it. They won't let you talk about Pizzagate in a free country where we have freedom of speech. But you can go to You could get really in trouble if you lose your account on Reddit and Twitter if you talk about Pizzagate. Yeah, apparently people just want to get your way here. It's kind of terrible. Is there a reason why you're attacking our show on a nightly basis? Uh-oh. Helicopter. You hear that? Wow, that was like less than 50 feet above my house. They're strafe bombing me. Here's an idea I came up with. Another reason to pick me as your president. You know, they've had a lot of opportunity to cure cancer. And nobody wants to get cancer. We all dread it. It's the worst thing that we could ever get. And there's no real way of preventing cancer unless we solve and find cures that are affordable. Well, lo and behold, here we have the Cancer Cure Center, a way in which we can get teams of doctors working 24/7 in different shifts to find a cure for cancer. I mean, how can this not be a good idea? Not the way you think you're going to die. No. We don't all get to choose. Froggy, there's total collusion. We know that it's coming. Don't worry. It's not over yet, Froggy. You guys have had a false sense that everything's fine. Right, Hillary? I don't know. You better go get back and get a chai tea. It might be better for you. Well, good luck with that, Froggy, because, you know, you allowed Russia to take over our country, you and all the Republicans. I think she's a rapper. I see Hillary as kind of an evolved, kind of a punk rapper kind of person. Yeah, something like that. Kind of a cross blend between punk and rap. Well, there you have it. You won't be in a rest home. You know what some people are doing for their lifestyle change? They're getting trips and passes on cruise lines. Isn't that amazing? So when you get old, you can get a cruise line. It's like $60 a day to go on a cruise line. And just fork over the money and you go to a cruise and just stay on the cruise line. It's cheaper than a Residence Inn. A Residence Inn for you and your family is going to cost you about $60,000 a year. But you put grandma on a cruise line for $65 a day, and you do the math, that's under $20,000 a year. I'm just giving you some ideas, some tips. Thought I'd share. You never know. If you need any help, we've got the Zombie Apocalypse Attack Kit. But these are not for sale, unfortunately. We can tell you how to prepare, how to avoid a potential dangerous attack, but we can't guarantee your safety, especially if you run into a teacher with a gun. Watch out. Ah! Okay. All right, would you look at that? Would you just look at that? Well, we've got a little trip down memory lane. I want to show you what traveling on a cruise line will be like in the future someday. I know this is a wonderful time to think about this, but check this out. This is an artistic rendition of the future of travel. Isn't it amazing? You can travel and have a beautiful, wonderful swimming pool on top of that blimp. Isn't that great? Thank you. I just gave somebody a wonderful idea. I said, wow, interesting. Cruise for Grandma. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. I just gave a bunch of people what to do with Grandma when she's getting old. If you got a few people in the family and you want to get her on a different lifestyle, give her a cruise, yeah. And maybe go on a trip with her. You'd still save some money. Okay, well, this happens to be a heated pool. So yeah, it's a little cold on the upper deck, but down below you have the mezzanine in which you'll meet a friend. Yeah, possibly the vape lounge, where you can hang out and meet somebody new. You never know. Every one of these units will have vape lounges in them. This is an advance of the blimp plane. This is an elaborate cruise liner that gives multiple people a wonderful vacation in the sky, so they don't have to grovel with all the scumbags on Earth. Oh, sorry. But yeah, it's just a thought. But now we take a moment, a break, to bring you an important message from Larry Sinclair.
Where Senator Obama exited the limousine with $250, which was provided to him by me. Returned a short while later with an 8-ball of cocaine, which he gave to me. I did ingest a couple of lines of cocaine, and shortly thereafter, Senator Obama produced a glass cylinder pipe and packet of crack cocaine from his pocket. Obama then smoked the crack cocaine. I performed fellatio on Senator Obama in the limousine during the time Senator Obama was smoking crack cocaine, after which I had the driver take me to my hotel, the Comfort Suites, Gurnee, Illinois.
Wow, Larry Sinclair admitting that he did crack with Barack and performed oral sex with him. And none of that got in the news for 10 years. And still to this day, that video has not played in the mainstream media. It did appear on C-SPAN, though. He actually rented the press corps for 6 hours, or 2 hours, and he did a lot of interviews. I've got a whole series of interviews. If you want to hear, Zeno, would you like a full 1 hour of Larry Sinclair talking? I mean, I could probably play that for you sometime in the evening. Maybe find a good time when you're, quiet, no longer involved with anybody personally, where you could look at Larry Sinclair and find out the kind of guy you would have met back then behind the bathrooms with Barack Obama. Echelon, he was not paid. No, he was given donations enough to pay the press corps money to suppress, to basically get the story out. He had a lot of interview time. He talked about Donald Young, who had contacted him. And here is the complete conference. I have it here.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
My name is Montgomery Blair Sibley. I'm the attorney for Larry Sinclair, and I just want to give you an overview of how we're going to proceed this afternoon. First, the National Press Club rents space. They do not condone or endorse the views of the people who rent the space. And we've been overwhelmed with people criticizing the National Press Club, and we just want to make it clear, Larry is here because he rented this room, and as a result, he's allowed to get up and say what he wants to say. The National Press Club has nothing to do with that. Mr. Sinclair is going to make a brief statement. You will be provided copies of that statement once he's done. And after that statement, he will entertain any reasonable questions and try to answer them. The procedure for doing that will be this microphone, because we're being recorded and we want to make sure your questions are recorded so that... I mentioned I could use a line or two to wake up. Senator Obama asked me if I was referring to coke, and I stated I was. After stating I was, Obama stated he could purchase cocaine for me and then made a telephone call. This too is significant, from a cell phone to a presently unknown individual, during which Senator Obama arranged the cocaine purchase.
Okay, now Larry Sinclair passed a lie detector test with 99% accuracy, and that's within the variance of any lie detector test, even if he were telling the truth. But the American government and the media would not profile this, because basically Barry Soetoro or Barack Obama was a puppet of the people that run the show. Now, he did this because he's a proud American. I don't care if he's straight or gay. He's still a proud American, and he wanted everyone to know that Barack Obama was lying about his drug use. They are admissible in my mind in the court of public opinion. You've been muted. That's admissible in my line too. Anyway, back to your fantasy cruise on the SS Blimp. All right, you don't want to fantasize? Okay, we don't have to fantasize. That's the thing. He didn't file any defamation lawsuits. He didn't even defend himself. His handlers, Barack Obama's handlers, told him not to bother mention the guy. So it's pretty obvious that the story didn't go away, but it didn't stop Barack Obama from lying to the American people. You see, it's pretty easy for people to lie, like Barack Obama all those years. Whoa! Yep. He didn't fail no. No, that's incorrect. WhiteHouse.com has altered that story, and that's no longer admissible here. Sorry. Failing, no. He did not fail. He passed it with 99% accuracy. That's a complete lie. You're out of here later. Don't ever come back. You think Stormy Daniels is better looking than Larry Sinclair? Well, that's kind of a funny statement coming from you. Stormy is not the issue here. The issue is how brain dead you are to allow a president to have sex with a porn star, have that porn star harassed, get bad legal representation from Michael Avenatti, and now to this day we still don't have our president accounting for why he paid her $130,000 in hush money. How can you possibly sit there and expect us to take Donald Trump seriously if he wanted knowledge that he paid her the hush money and it was because he had an extramarital affair? And her baby was threatened. That's right. Which would have been a serious assault charge had I been the attorney. But since I'm not an attorney. Okay, we've got people talking about code word avocado now. It's no longer child, or I guess cheese pizza for your FBI identifiers. A key OPEC oil producer, Libya, is on the brink of war as generals orders forces into Tripoli. Wow. General is ordering his forces into Tripoli. Wow. So we're major oil upset from Libya. Members of the brigade, headed by Field Commander Salah Blahib and loyal to Khalifa Haftar, a retired general and former chief of staff for Muammar Gaddafi, hold up their guns as they fight alongside Libyan army troops against Islamist gunmen in the eastern Libyan city of Benghazi. Well, things haven't calmed down about Benghazi. Even Bernie Sanders, who doesn't want to talk about Benghazi, can't even address this. I don't want to make Benghazi an issue, Hillary. My Bernie sounds just like my Donald. I can't differentiate the two. They both look pretty old to me. I guess those Ashkenazis want to keep this bubbling crude in peril at all times. I see your point. The price per barrel could go through the roof. I know. Let's touch down on the price of oil here. But first, the Dow Jones average. Up 166 points to 26,384. Apparently news of Trump's vindication has helped the Ashkenazi stock market. Yeah, they're liking that. Looks like a saw blade, doesn't it? Wow, that's a real up and down saw blade. Have you ever seen? So let's see what oil futures are doing. Now they took a tank. I don't know, 62 points, $62 a barrel is going down, yeah. I don't think he's going to be a big deal. Yeah, oil is still pretty much near its production cost. Unless, of course, you're Jamal Khashoggi and you're still alive writing stories and no one can hear you because you don't exist. We had a guy that had come into our room claiming to be Jamal Khashoggi after the guy was allegedly killed in, I guess it was Istanbul. And yes, Bernie's an Ashkenazi, yeah, for sure. Bernie is an Ashkenazi. Who else is an Ashkenazi? Donald Trump is an Ashkenazi. Yeah, I'm helping people understand what Ashkenazis are all about. And they're not even Jewish because their mother's mother is not Jewish. Oy vey. I hope he's recovering from his eye problem. He ran into a, what was this, a shower door recently. He hurt his eye. Yes, poor Bernie. I hope he gets through it. His facial scarring from his melanoma is going to have to be repaired. Oy vey. Kushner is an Ashkenazi. Yeah, his family are all Ashkenazi. Really? His wife beats him? Are you serious? Is that the funniest thing ever? Somebody just said Bernie's wife beats him. Wow. She is a big woman. He's got stitches for his head injury, which he said was a shower door. Everyone's starting to wonder, is this for real? Yeah. I don't know. It's not uncommon. It's not unheard of for people who have been beaten up, and pretend like a shower door hit them. But we've got enough dirt on Bernie. The 1972 essay he wrote, that even Snopes agrees, he said that women like to be raped by 3 men simultaneously. That's going to dog him in the upcoming election. But no worse than Biden's, alleged touching of children. We don't do uncut versions of circumcisions here, Zeno. That's highly inappropriate to post in our show. You've been muted. I really don't need to look at children being molested in our show. In fact, that's a terms of the service violation for Vaughn. Wow. I'm pissed off that you did that, man. You can't come in here and play that stuff. What the hell? Well, no, you didn't see our Biden project when we played it today. Did you read the paper? What paper was that, Echelon? I'm waiting for your answer. I am queued up waiting for your answer. Sanders' paper? I didn't have to. I don't read papers about women getting raped. I don't like to get into reading sick things like that. I don't enjoy talking about women in such a horrible way. I'm kind of a member of the Me Too generation. I don't even care what it's about. Anyone who says that in any context is a rape fantasy. Yeah, that's wrong. No one wants to encourage rape unless you're a rapist. I rest my case. I must see this.
I'm in front of Katz's Delicatessen on the Lower East.
White Katz is still king of sandwiches. Oy vey. Remember, I have nothing against you talking about whatever turns you on. I am not anti-Semitic. I want you to know that. All right. Biden Project on Q. Yeah, I just downloaded it onto my hard drive. Even though I had it on my hard drive. I just thought it'd be fun to download it. Still downloading. Huh. I plan on working on it tonight. We played it earlier. It was Biden doing all kinds of untoward things.
Did you want to get vice president? There we go.
Okay, right here. Here's the official.
Here we go. We can put the Bible behind it. All right, come on, slide in here.
Thank you. Maggie, do you want to come over here? Come over here.
Come on, Maggie, make me look better, okay? There we go.
Do you guys mind moving this way? There we go. Right like that. Perfect. Thank you.
You gotta look up at the center photographer up top of it. Here we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're a good girl.
Thank you.
All right, well, nice to see you guys.
Okay, I thought I'd show you this because it shows Muslim women in Dearborn, Michigan that are showing off their driver's licenses. Thank you. Yeah, I just think that's something you should look at for a while. Now, Donald Trump has been president for 2 years now, and we're still looking at Muslims bragging about their ability to vote. And many of these women who are married to one man can all collect welfare. And there's been no modification of the welfare laws to prevent mullahs who have 5 women and their wives from collecting 5 separate checks. They're raping our tax dollars. That's all I'm concerned about at this point. But they're implementing Sharia law and they're creating grooming groups to groom children. To groom children, and that's inappropriate here. That's a bannable offense. I'm sorry. I won't ban you, but it's inappropriate for you to post that stuff here. Yeah. Thank you. I'm waiting for this thing to update and it just won't work. Huh. There it is. All right, you've been muted. But this has been going on for 2 years, and you know there's 24 different armed communities of Muslims in America? You're justifying a man collecting 5 welfare checks because he's a mullah and has 5 different wives? Seriously? I think you're off the deep end there, buddy. There's 600,000 Muslims, I believe, in Dearborn, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Muslim population in Dearborn. I just have a problem with people, voting who aren't official citizens. Oh, I'm sorry. It's way less than that. 98,000. Thank you. Whew. Well, I don't think we should justify... No, fundamentalist Mormons are U.S. citizens. They have driver's licenses. You don't understand what this is all about, do you? All right. We're going to try to remedialize our show down to your level, okay? I know, it's difficult. We're going to rewire your circuitry a little bit. Beep, beep, beep. Lowering your IQ point by 50. Beep, beep.
Hi, yeah. Well, we're talking about total collusion here, dude. You know? Or something like that, you know? But I forgot what I was going to say, man.
Jeez, man, wake up. We're at the center of centrist politics here. We have a higher need for you to be on top of your game. Do you understand me? All right. I'm not here to challenge your faith. If you're Muslim, I certainly respect your freedom of religion. I get that. But should the Mormon leader collect 800 welfare checks? That's a good question. I've been meaning to ask that question for a long, long time. Right, Hillary? I know. But yeah, we're done with that section of hating on evildoers who want to arm up and kill the population. We're not going to raise fears like the mainstream media does about fear of terrorism. I'd rather just say that people should not stockpile munitions. You know, having a gun is a God-given right in America. You'd have to take it up by cold, dead carcass. But no, if you want to have guns in America, you can. That's the beauty. But arming up, stockpiling weapons, and putting a cache of bullets, I will do something about that. Unlike Trump, I will minimize the massive potential fire hazard that those bullets at some of the mosques will actually, cause some damage. So we're in the interest of safety. We're going to try to minimize munitions. Okay? Thanks. I know you don't even know what I'm talking about. That's okay. I can see the IQ of the human race slowly going down.
Could we see Obama's penis again?
Sure.
The money shot?
There's the money shot. Michelle Obama's penis, everybody. I'm just doing what my audience wants. They want to look at the penis there, bouncing around. There's the money shot right there. Boom, boom. Thank you. Okay, you feel better now? Thank you. Well, I'm trying to meet the demands of some of my not-so-intelligent young people here in the show. I don't know. I mean, what can I say? I want to talk about a 1,000-mile container fence that we can put up, but you people are so obsessed with, Donald Trump that you think that we should spend more than that. Why should you even work? You'll be replaced by a robo-soldier soon. I mean, seriously. Robotics will take over the world. You cannot stop it. Everything will be automated soon. You cannot control the power and the strength of technology. No, if Michelle runs, I will expose the penis between her legs. Not physically, but we'll keep playing the video. Play it again, Sam. Here's looking at you, sweetheart. Yeah, there you go. Check this out, folks. This is a Canadian license. They authorize these people. Look at that. I don't know what the number replies. I don't know who this is, but the name was changed, but the number wasn't. Look at that. Born in, date of birth. I don't even have it. But how do you identify somebody by that? How is that legal? Why is Canada being so weak? Thank you, Ed the One. Yeah, I have a lot of good ideas. Thank you. Look, at least their faces are unmasked on the permit. And Canada, the permit has their faces veiled. Trudeau, that's like the soft tyranny of New Zealand. Trudeau is going to bend to gun control any second now. Whoa! You're probably going to have like a New Zealand-style fake event up there. And it's just going to immediately say, well, we better do what New Zealand did. And I'm sure within 5 days, Canada will have no chance of ever having weapons for their people. They're already pretty stiff on, you like that word? They're all pretty stiff on their gun control. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So you don't mind taking a break a few times during the show.
Within the first 100 days. This is a terrible mistake, and I believe we need to move in a different direction immediately. I want to find the waste in this government and get rid of it, and then build up from there. I don't want to start spending money we don't have. So I urge you to realize that it's 10 years later and I need to do what I need to do. So I'm urging you again. Keep urging people. BC bomb plotter is set free after judge rules RCMP entrap pair. This is almost as bad as the recent ruling that freed every single biker involved in the shooting in Waco, Texas in 2015. Did you hear about that one? 9 bikers were killed. One from one biker group and the other from all 8 from another biker group. And nobody was charged with the murder. And all the bikers were freed recently, claiming there was not enough evidence to convict beyond a reasonable doubt. So it happens. BC bomb plotter is set free after judge rules RCMP to entrap the pair. Wow. A British Columbian couple convicted of terrorism charges have had their verdicts tossed out in a scathing court decision that flays the RCMP for its egregious conduct in manipulating naive suspects into carrying out a police-manufactured crime. So they put these people up to it. John Nuttall and Amanda Carudi were quickly rearrested and placed under peace bond before finally being released. So they set these people up. Well, apparently they were looking for that kind of an event in your country, and somehow the judicial process intercepted. Thank goodness for you. Good job. Well, that was me. It was just a different camera. Completely different camera. To vote for me in 2012. I will change America, and America's third party will gain the kind of support we need to direct a brand new, innovative solution toward America's problems. I believe in sustainability. I believe in a clean environment, but I also believe that we have to do domestic oil drilling. in order to get off of our reliance on foreign oil. I urge you to look to the reality before you and realize that 100 days with Barack Obama is 100 too many days with Barack Obama. Thank you. And go to americasthirdparty.com and find out more about it. I'm David John Sponheim, and I approve this message.
All right. Thank you, David John Sponheim. I appreciate that. It's good to get comments from myself 10 years earlier. I like my hair better now. Yeah. So Trudeau's having the doctors rally for gun control. Wow. Hi, Sarah. Thanks for coming in, giving us some time. I definitely look much younger. That was 10 years ago. Yeah. Hey, 10 years, you know, it adds up.
Oh, I love Ren and Stimpy. Those are the days. My goodness. Yeah, David seems to get younger as time goes by.
As time goes by.
Is this my new favorite sweater? Well, this time of year, yes. I do like it this time of year. It's light enough that I can put it on when I feel a little chill in the air, so I don't have to turn on a heater, but thickness enough that, yeah, if I feel chill in the air. So I do like it a lot. There's one little tiny stain on it you probably have noticed, but I overlooked that. I don't mind it. Maybe 2 stains, but whatever. Oh, never mind. I don't like them anymore. False imprisonment? They decided to sue? That's ridiculous. Okay, whatever. Trudeau is having the doctors rally for gun control because they're claiming like people are coming in with gunshot wounds or something. David does have great ideas. You'll probably be waiting a very long time. That's hilarious that you say I look like just... Is that your vision of what I look like? I'd have to be much more well endowed than I am to look like that woman. I'd have to get like implants or something. Yeah, 41. Thanks for saying I look well. In the face, Sarah. The face. Okay, maybe in the face. Yeah, I could see the face. I look like her in the face. I'm sure you were looking at the face in that picture. Uh-huh. Yeah. Zeno, I already answered that question. Are you? And why do you ask about that? Like, do you have a thing for David? Oh, the first bug out of hibernation. Ooh, that's a wild bug. I hope it wasn't inside your house or something. Maxed out credit. That's the first bug out of hibernation. Oh, it was on the window ledge outside. Wow, that's a wild bug. I noticed a reddish bug, not quite like that, but a reddish bug the other day outside. You're blushing. What does that mean? Like, you do like David? I don't know. You're an incel, but you're really an incel because you're attracted to David? I don't understand. Incel means involuntary celibate is what I think, which means they don't want to be celibate, but they aren't brave enough to find someone to not be celibate with. Exactly. Moving nerd, I agree. Not in the common man slang. That's not what it means. David is very resourceful. It's going to snow tomorrow, so that bug is going back into hibernation. Hope you laid some eggs, bug boy. No. What does it mean in the common man slang? Ask a man. It means having a large yeah, that. Okay. All right, thanks for taking that picture of that bug. Wow, I know, maxed out credit. Oh, I'm so sorry. What time is your colonoscopy? Is it bright and early? I know mine was very early in the morning when I had to do that. I'm glad I don't have 8:30 a.m. Wow. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to do that every 18 months. I don't think that would be good. I was looking at that one you gave me, that link, but I think I closed out of it or something. Oh. It's that, did you give it to me? Is clutter sabotaging your spiritual life? Get over distractions. Yes, David did make his fajita wraps the way I like them. I had 2 of them. They were very good. You wondered how they turned out? His stream didn't die during the cooking show. No. Not that, well, I don't know. I don't think so. But they did look really good. He did like this whole onion, and then we did a whole pepper, and then actually some sweet peppers too. Like 6 sweet peppers and some chicken breast. And then this sauce, which was, he had made like a chili. Well, he made a spaghetti that he turned in the sauce into a chili yesterday, and then he added some hot sauce from the, it was like from the top of a hummus dip that he got, but it was like this spicy hummus. And he took all that spice and put it into the chili, and that was really good. It was delicious. Chicken, peppers, onions, fajitas. No, the hummus and chili, it's like a spicy chili. Yeah, anyway, we just usually eat it separate because the spicy, but we didn't do anything with this the hummus was not involved today. I avoid hummus. I used to eat hummus like a lot. I used to actually went on this diet for a while, which was bees don't make you have bad sinus problems. It's a pollen out. Anyway, I used to eat hummus, but I was trying to go on to like a low carb diet for lunches. I said, "Oh, I'll do hummus." And then my colon, or my intestines just started feeling really weird. I don't react well with hummus. But then I had a garbanzo bean the other day that wasn't too bad. Yeah, what are you down to? Another liter of that stuff? That's what you have to eat. Colite. I'm so sorry. Yeah, David does do some pretty amazing things. Since I Sponheim the Shogun of Sizzle, I like that. 1.5 liters, wow. Oh man. Alright, enjoy that $6.99. Feel bad for poor maxed out credit. He's on a liquid diet today. You can drink 7-Up, right? Half a cup. Wait, half a cup every 5 minutes? Holy moly, they sure make you drink a lot. Does Perot chart still even exist? No solids. Why? I don't want to focus on negative things, Maybe the only thing I could say is he loves to talk. And that's a positive and a negative. I said Perot charts. Ross Perot, Perot. Who was Pharaoh? Never mind. Oh, it's a caster. All right. I liked Ross Perot. I voted for Ross Perot long before I met David. He's age 88 and lives in Texarkana, Texas. Oh, I didn't know he was an angel investor for Next. He thinks taxes should be increased on the wealthy, spending should be cut to help pay off the national debt. Spending should not exceed revenue for 27 consecutive years, last back in those days. Oh my goodness. Oh, if you had bed bugs, you definitely have to get pesticides. I find David very attractive. I don't know. Yeah, I did have a little... I liked, when I was younger, before I met David, I liked Christian Slater and John Cusack. I would say those are probably the closest. And I still actually kind of like them. But Christian Slater has no political viewpoint, and John Cusack is very liberal, and he's kind of quirky. I read this thing recently about Ashton Kutcher. Is it Kutcher or Kutcher? I don't know how to say his last name. I have to look it up. Anyway, Ashton, I kind of like his some of his viewpoints on some things. Kutcher? No. I know, Frops. That's why I don't really like John Cusack anymore. He's a little too political. I don't know, Red Sunchild. You like Liam Neeson? I haven't seen, politically who I like. Thinking about your statement, Misanthropy. That is a good question. I think I know the answer. Let me think. No, he does have good questions. Well, let me see, because I don't know his... Actually, yeah. One more. Yes, an easy Thursday. Tia Leone. I think that she would be a good vice president running mate for David. And if not her, then Annette Bening. Here, I'll show you a picture. She was the Madam Secretary. She's married to the guy from Anyway, no. Here, I'll show you. She was a Madam's secretary. Wow. And this is her husband, David Duchovny. I think. Oh, never mind. This is her ex-husband. Oh, and now she was dating him in 2014. That's funny, because they were married on the show, Madam Secretary. Oh, what do you mean slag? I don't understand. Yeah, I read that. No, thanks. I don't want any Colite. Thank you, though. The other person, maybe... I have to see what her political views are, but maybe Annette Bening. I was thinking Annette Bening's husband, but... Well, David just loves to talk. He loves to talk. And I maybe don't. Maybe I do. I like to talk about different things. You think it would be cool if David taught courses in media and communications? Nice. Thank you for featuring me over there at iBlog. Sarah's like Mr. Rogers now, or Mr. Rogers Show. Always different, but always wholesome. That's actually a really big compliment to me. I love Mr. Rogers. He was one of my favorites. He was just super wonderful. David knows so much about how to present things and about the industry in general. Okay. Yeah, you should tell David that. Maybe he would do that. Maybe he'd make little videos about that. The magic of the internet. Wow. Okay. I didn't get it till just now, Scissor Fight. Now I get it. Oh, wait. Okay. Thank you. He had Mr. Dress Up in Canada. Mr. Dress Up? I'm sorry you missed out on Mr. Rogers. It's not showing his picture. Let's see. Oh. Mr. Dress Up. Interesting shirt he has on that looks like a quilt. And it would stop all the fruits and vegetables from coming into our country that at a reasonable price. Like all of my peppers and David's avocados.
It was awesome. I loved it. That was great.
No, I never made a video saying I wanted, not recently, saying I wanted people to vote for me. I did back in 2008.
Back in 2008, yeah. Nothing on Twitter is associated with Sarah. That's not Sarah has no accounts yet. We have one account that is associated, but it's not.
Third party.
Yeah, third party. And if you really want to contact us, we have an email, direct email, americasthirdparty@gmail.com.
I'm glad to hear that, yes.
Always different and wholesome, misanthropy, yeah. Well, Sarah was influenced by Mr. Rogers, actually. I wonder if that Tom Hanks film is coming out soon.
They have a zero waste grocery store.
Oh, good.
In Kelowna and Vernon. Where is this? In Summerland Review. Where is that?
Somewhere in the world.
Oh, BC?
BC, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Their place is packed all day long. Wow.
Wow.
You had a statement.
I know, Zenu.
You mentioned you thought that plastic should be pulled from the market. I think you're right. Ultimately, plastic is a terrible waste product.
Yes, before I go, I shall do my daily appeal to manufacturers. You are the first line of defense to save our planet. Please, when you are packaging any item from your manufacturing, think, can I possibly do this with paper instead?
Paper versus plastic. They used to ask you at the markets, paper or plastic, for the longest time, and now it's just, yeah, give you a plastic bag. I would rather have paper.
I heard you can report that account too, Zenu. Anyone can report a fake account. But yes, I will be reporting it probably tomorrow.
We're in the process of reporting everything, yeah.
Somebody else too I would want you to run with of a movie star, and I said maybe Tia Leone.
Tia Leone, yeah, she's a great, she plays an excellent Secretary of State.
No, they divorced, and she dated him for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at least in 2014.
Who's he?
Her husband on Secretary.
Oh, she dated the guy who's her husband on Madam Secretary? She's a really great actress. I enjoy watching Madam Secretary. She makes the show. You know that they had a negotiation for her salary, and they said that they wanted to add new people, and she said, I want final approval. And the producers are going, no, we decide who's on the set. No, I want final approval, and she got it. She stuck out for her position, and she got it. So she gets final approval on who joins the cast. That's cool. I'm a Me Too supporter. I really want women to have equal pay as well. I would have signed the Equal Rights Amendment back in the day. I'd like to see another one someday. I also think that women in Hollywood need an agency that they can call, even anonymously, to complain about a producer. I think there's nothing in place right now. And it's one of my goals is to see something across the nation in place for women who are being harassed or forced to have sex just to keep their part. It's a terrible position. Producers, allegedly Harvey Weinstein did it. He's still involved in a couple court cases. They haven't settled yet. I mean, this is going on forever. He's just delaying and delaying. No, it's not. I'm not intending to get into that subject that you people have in your mind. I just want women to have protection from people harassing them and force them into sex. I think it's horrible. Actually, it's the worst thing ever. Okay, thank you. I will say goodnight to Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. I'll see you a little later. Great, thank you. That was Sarah. We don't take people at our show who have violated our trust. You're not allowed in here. I can't believe she came into our other show. Can you imagine? the gall of that woman? Unbelievable. I did not see the link. Let's take a look. There was a woman who was harassing us the other night terribly. And we just decided to end her time at our show. You can't come back here. Either show. Yeah, she's no longer invited. She's got real issues. We were very nice to her for a long time, and she just completely turned on us like a viper. Russian military journal claims psychic soldiers can crash computers and control dolphins. Yeah, I believe it. You know, they've been investigating the study of the brain and parapsychology far longer than our government has, and if our government's been doing it, it's under the QT. Yeah, they won't talk about it. But I have just as much capability as they do. That's a pretty cool picture, isn't it? Well, I mean, if you're wondering if your remote viewers have the ability to look into the lives of others, there's a whole study technology developed about it online. I doubt it's verified, but the possibility of psychic capabilities controlling computers, it does enter the realm of something that could happen. I'm now going to defrag my hard drive with my mind. Oh, no, that's called smoking pot, dude. Okay. Apparently I've defragged my hard drive already. Yeah, by the way, legalization of marijuana will open up a whole new series of technologies, like hempoline, a future source for diesel. Legalization will also open up the possibility of hempsulate, a type of insulation that's mold-proof. Isn't this cool? And we'll also be able to create a product that is super durable. Okay, cool. Super durable that can be built, that can build houses and replace concrete. Isn't that a cool thing? So when I talk about legalization of marijuana, I'm actually not just talking about marijuana. I'm talking about all cannabis and anything that's going to be used in textiles and all these new edibles and medicinals that are helping people in many different ways that can only be quantified by the subjective benefits that people are receiving on a daily basis. So yeah, we strongly support legalization of marijuana here. Now, Sarah has never smoked it, nor will she says, and that's fine. I'm not pushing it on anybody. In fact, if you've never smoked marijuana, you want to make sure that nobody's ever died of an overdose. But if you've never smoked marijuana, I urge you not to smoke it. Otherwise, you'll enjoy it too much, and it'll be part of your life the rest of your life. All right, thank you. I did my little marijuana, stump speech. That looks like a good song, Misanthropy. Thank you. I did. David, I gave you a female singer. I know, and I play it, but I'm in the recorded mode right now, and for another 1 hour and 20 minutes, I can't play it, otherwise I get monetized. Yeah. I noticed I increased my Twitter followers by 4 people. Wow, that's impressive. What a joke. Twitter's been censored for us for a long time. Long time. When I started broadcasting, my numbers were going up, our Twitter followers were going up, and I noticed they just stopped. You're not allowed to come post in here of other people. Yeah, that's not something we approve. Yeah, you didn't know that, though, so. don't know what's wrong with the system isn't working quite well over there. Yeah, we can't allow her in the room. I lost a video because of her complaint. I'm pretty sure she complained about our video. Yeah, weed the people, exactly. Yeah, that's a good one. Weed the people. I think it's not there. It's not there.
There will be someone to listen. Because you know what? It's on us.
It is. You're sitting a little too close to her right now. Yeah. You may not want to do that. I was looking for my picture of the Biden perv video.
All right, come on, slide in here.
Thank you. Maggie, do you want to come over here?
Okay, come on, slide in here. Moving Nerd has something? Wow. Good for you. I know it's quite a day. You have to deal with all this tough reality check, you know. Hang on. That was my backup file, all my weird files. You'll get to look at that later. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we picked up on the internet that I have in storage on the cloud that I think is important to store because you don't know what will happen to the internet. As time goes on, we're seeing things change overnight. I know that the complexion of YouTube videos that I see in my playlist disappears daily. And thanks to Scissor Fight, we're going to be opening up a 153news.net site coming up. I'll be uploading to that site videos that I can't get on YouTube. I'm looking forward to it. Should be fun. Yeah. So I'm going to put that in backgrounds as Cyber Guy. I have a photograph I'm going to put in the background here. It's pretty powerful. Yeah, this is the picture I just brought in. Now, isn't that cool? Yeah. That's a cool picture. I'm sorry, you've violated the Digital Copyright Millennial Act if you keep it on there longer than 8 seconds. Okay, I'm in compliance. Thank you, big brother. Drug users want to lead Victoria's opioid crisis battle. Sarah and I had a great discussion about the opioid crisis here in Washington and Seattle. And they're saying in British Columbia, give us more money, say peer-run harm reduction groups like Solid. Yeah. In our state, in Washington, they're enabling drug use by giving them more needles, more drugs. It's like they want to feed the problem. So I'm open to any ideas that may alter the course. The largest injection site on Vancouver Island now up and running, focus has shifted to a second stream of funding, $1.65 million for community-led responses to the opioid crisis. Well, is anything proven? The new money is undoubtedly good news. However, peer harm reduction groups like Society of Living Intravenous Drug Users, Solid, say they're still falling short of the resources and the staff they need to combat the overdose crisis. So people are still ODing on it. It's like we're feeding the problem. I got a better idea. I really do. And it's kind of a unique concept that really, it's a Bible reference to a 153 fish. Okay, thanks. Thanks for telling me. Christian Koreans involved with the fish? Good to know. Okay. I believe that if we put people in a rural environment, and I mean give them access to a rural environment, like maybe a bus that can go out to the farm kind of thing. No fencing, no stop point, no dangerous controls. And give people like tiny what, boxes to live in? What do we call it? Cubicles, you know. We just don't want them on the street exposed to the elements. So even group environments, shelters, that kind of thing would be fine. Okay, this just came out. The boys that were sedated, the boys that were rescued from the Thai cave were sedated with ketamine. I didn't know that. Medics who treated the 12 boys and their soccer coach rescued in Thailand last year credited the drug ketamine with playing a key role in the daring and dangerous mission to extract them. Unspecified doses of ketamine, or Special K, were given to the kids. They were sedated to get them through this. We had to use that means that could keep the children not to be panicky while we were carrying them out. Wow, I bet. Underwater. Importantly, they are alive and safe. Wow. One anesthesiologist or anesthetist who was involved said the boys also wore full face masks supplying oxygen and poorly fitted wetsuits. Okay, good. So they calmed them down, put the oxygen on them, and then took them through underwater. It's pretty cool. I don't know about sedating them, but I guess they had to, right? Hybrid capitalism is all about bringing in the best notions of capitalism mixed with the notion of the government competing in the free market, which many of you think is socialism. It's not. Socialism is when the government takes over an industry, and in the case of National Socialism, like the Nazis, they'd hand over that instrument to the corporations that were the biggest, but they'd still have ownership, the government would. I don't want to do that. I want to keep our government operations small. When they get too big, I want to parse them off to many corporations equally, not just one. And I want to make sure that the government can compete in the free market so that we can finance the growth of our own budget. Because right now we're sucking off your tax dollars. Weed is a holy, blessed plant. Mo Lesdar, thank you. Weed business is taking off. Absolutely. In California, it's hit a stop point because California approached this wrong. They put limits on the THC level. I think they could have expanded that quite a bit. Now, the Woodwind Farms was a 193-acre farm, organic farm, used as a therapeutic community for the homeless. The farm offers people the opportunity to change their lives and reintegrate into society through programs based on work skills, community, self-respect, and a deep understanding of sustainability. Then the government bought it and shut it down. Well, we need to bring it back. Woodwind Farms. Can I put you in charge of that, moving nerd? Great. Because the idea of a small farm in the outskirts of town is a perfectly good idea, adaptive to the opioid crisis. And what we will offer is plenty of legal marijuana once I legalize marijuana. And we've already seen a 30%, not 3, but 30% reduction in opioid use and overdose in states that allow recreational marijuana. Yes, National Socialist has nothing to do with the word Nazi, despite what the wiki says. Yeah, unfortunately, many people who've gone to the wiki look up the word Nazi, and they think it's an acronym. It says National Socialisten, Nazi-Socialisten. Well, we went and looked up the word national, and we got the German pronunciation. And this is what it sounds like.
National.
National. So if you were to shorten the word national to Nazi, it would be Natsu, not Nazi. The name would be Natsu. Okay? National. So Nazi is not the appropriate acronym. What Nazi is a shortened version of the word Ashkenazi, which is what many people called Hitler and Himmler and Goering and all the Nazis. They didn't like the word Nazi, and you won't find that written very often either. In fact, to this day, Germany hates the word Nazi. If you go to Germany and use the word Nazi, you can get arrested and put in jail right away. I'm serious. It's not a combination of words, no. National is Natsu. All right, thank you. And obviously, we have a disagreement about this, so let's just change the subject. Everyone knows that languages throughout history. How does that word Nationalsozialisten, Deutsche Arbeiterpartei, have anything to do with the word Nazi? No. NSDAP does not hyphenate. NSDAP does not equal to Nazi. Yeah, you're stretching because you don't understand what is most likely the case in all linguistics analysis is that the words truncate over time. People don't like to make big words. They like to use less space in their mouth. So if they see a lot of Ashkenazis trying to dominate their community, and these are the greediest of all the people, like Anita. Yeah, she's an Ashkenazi. She may not be greedy, but she's definitely spiteful. I'll tell you that. After all those years that she stayed in our room, and this is how she acts. It's unbelievable. So they're very spiteful. They're very greedy. They have a lot of personal things going on. And they were called names. And they were called Nazis. Little did we know they were getting funding from Windsor family and the Rothschilds indirectly through various supporters in Germany, multiple banks that got money from the Rothschilds that they owned, as well as J.P. Morgan. He sent them money, a lot of money. So Hitler was basically put into power in the very same way that Donald Trump was put into power. And people have a hard time understanding that. They fronted money, gave lots of money out for free. Donald Trump brags about all the money he got as gifts from the Russians. His son walked out and told a couple of golfers, Eric Prince told a couple of golfers in 2015, that their dad could get $100 million in credit instantly from Russia. He was bragging about that. That's a little suspicious, don't you think? I mean, really. So to say there's no collusion or anything, that's absurd. There's total collusion going on. And the same people that put Hitler in power, their descendants have put Trump in power. Unfortunately. And we're at that junction point in world history and American history where the same thing is going down. They're pulling the same maneuver they pulled back in the old days. Right out of the same playbook, and we're not fighting World War II anymore. We beat the Germans and the Japanese. We're fighting something a little bit more disturbing. The same people that support Donald Trump support indirectly Hillary Clinton. They control both parties. And when we look at the support that they give through AIPAC, we know that this funnel of money, this conduit of money, is completely and utterly over the top control of our government. You see, the Clintons and the Trumps have been getting along for years. Here's a candid photograph of Bill and Hillary meeting Donald and Melania. It's all a good, cozy little club in the two-party system. They don't care who they're backing as long as they're backing Israel and the Zionists who control them, the moneyed interests. So, I'm sorry to say, but our country was hijacked by the Nazis. And now we're getting control from the Russian oligarchs who are also Zionists. So we've got that going on too. So they control us on the left with Hillary or Hitlery, and they control us on the right with little Donald the puppet who likes lots of money. No, the new Hillary is actually very thin. Yeah, she's actually looking good. They cloned Hillary. Yeah, they have a clone of her out there. She might even run in 2020. Don't put it past her. Yeah, her clone looks really good. The technology is completely available, and science is advanced so that Hillary was pulled out of commission one day when the 9/11 event, and she came out 2.5 hours later from Chelsea's apartment looking totally different. Hillary Clinton checked into the 9/11 memorial in 2016 like the lady on the left. She went in there and then she collapsed. You remember her collapsing? Yeah. Well, that one on the left, she is probably overweight. But the one on the right came out looking pretty dang good, and she's the one closest to me right here. The clone is very, very much in play, and she's doing great. So don't think for a second that Hillary's not going to run in 2020. She might just run. She hasn't said either way. But the point I'm making is they've got both sides covered, completely covered at all levels. So unless you break out into a third party and vote your conscience and try to change the political dimension one vote at a time, it's quittance for the country. We'll be continually controlled by the same people that brought Hitler to power. The Nazis. And slowly our country's economy, our democracy will erode away. The Russian oligarchs, they continue to pull Donald Trump's puppet at the will. He's the puppet strings at the will and behest of the Rothschilds. Or the Russian oligarchs who themselves have power in and of themselves. So, anyway, that's the story of America circa 2019. And it's not going to change at all unless we build this third party. I assure you. We're doomed. And just like the Jews were doomed to be carted off to the FEMA camps, we Americans are doomed to lose our country and to the powers that will ultimately cave into the UN and the World Bank, who are clearly in charge of all the monetary systems except for just a few globally. So it really comes down to, do you really want this third party, or do you just want to sit and, talk about it or watch it? You got to get behind it. And if you don't want to do anything and just sit and watch, well, maybe it might not form. Either way, we are dealing with a huge problem of mind manipulation at the highest level. And they're using things as nefarious and innocuous as chemtrails to dumb us down. My area has been inundated with chemicals flying over my house. It's been absolutely horrible. This past few days have been just horrific.
Okay, today is April the 4th, 2019.
One Pacific Redwood has identified a bifurcation of the weather pattern that's completely unnatural. See that? The line in there. And he's going to go into detail about how this is affecting evaporation in California, and the manipulation of the weather is certainly a big part of this plan that they have. What is their ultimate plan? Getting rid of 90% of the population. That was the plan back in the day when they got rid of the ethnic minorities in Hitler's time. They got rid of quite a few people, but it wasn't 90%. They've got a bigger plan with us. They've got a thing that they're going to be employing or deploying much more dangerous than gas chambers. They've already tested it in certain areas like Paradise, California. But the government has tested these types of weapons before. Good luck. Well, you'll find your freedoms will continue to erode in your politically correct world war games. And as time goes on, you'll wonder if you're safe in your own home or even in your own shoes. If you don't get chipped or herd inoculated, you could get sent away to the FEMA camps. Now, maybe you're one of those people that'll say, oh, go ahead and chip me, it's okay. Or go ahead and do this or that, inject me with more vaccines. But gradually your immune system will break down because those vaccines have dangerous chemicals that attack the immune system. And you're one of those people that doesn't believe that. So you go ahead and believe whatever you want, War Games. I guarantee that your life will not be what you think it will be. That's all I can tell you. It's not what you think it's going to be. Far from it. Now, Cohen tried to delay prison, and we're finding out now that he offered even more dirt on Trump just to delay the imprisonment. He has a 3-year prison sentence he's going to be serving. He offers the Democrats new evidence against Trump in a bid to delay prison. Wow, this is good news. He said he has new information to offer the Democrats if authorities reduce or delay his upcoming 3-year prison sentence. Good. I'm glad that he's still spilling information. He has discovered substantial files on a hard drive that could help investigations of the president. Yay, this is great. The hard drive is said to include 14 million files, which consist of all emails, voice recordings, images, and attachments from Cohen's computers and phones, his attorneys. Wow. This is great news. All right. Well, hopefully Washington Times reporting this is giving us some hope, a ray of hope, because total collusion is definitely my opinion, and I'm not changing it. I believe that total collusion has gone on, and whether you like it or not. I've got more than enough evidence of total collusion in my mind, but many of you people who don't believe in anything and think everything's fake news, you don't believe that there's anything. I mean, it's like completely oblivious to what's happening with Trump. Well, that's good news. Excellent. Dr. Dress Up? Wow. Didn't know that existed. Okay, we got Katz Pastrami coming in the show. Still the king of sandwiches. I want to check that out. And the good news for all you avocado eaters. Trump backed off of his threat to close the U.S.-Mexican border. I mean, what a joke. How many times is he going to threaten people? Destabilize the price of avocados, which, by the way, went up like 30% just a few days ago because of Trump's mouth. We're all going to be paying more for our avocados. But now he's just, backing off. Talk about a flip-flopper. What unbelievable. A simple exercise will reboot your brain in 30 seconds. I'm looking forward to this. I am looking to know. Not.
He's known as Creepy Joe Biden by his friends, associates, and members of the press.
Okay, Creepy Joe. And David Zublik, the other guy on the internet that's equally pretty weird. He's going to talk about it. This is a guy that looks like one of my uncles at his house, and he talks about all this stuff from his microphone studio, which is fine.
It should also be noted that Joe Biden's son, Beau Biden, died almost 3 years ago of brain cancer. So he himself did suffer from a brain tumor.
Yeah, apparently we're going to find out more about Joe Biden from David Zublik in his channel. So we'll do that tonight. Thank you. That's wild that the global rich list is just so bizarre that they cater to that. Thank you, Sosadi. Well, bottom line is, we've always had a lot of I guess, friction between us as brother and sister, and it's not unusual for me to feel this way. If you make at least 33%, you're in the top 1%, or 33,000 a year, you're in the top 1%. Are you serious? Yeah, I know Zublik tries to sell his stuff in his show. That's the one thing I have to watch out for. Assange is going to be expelled within hours to the Ecuadorian embassy. I've heard this over and over again. I'll look at the link and I'll add it to our link tonight. But how many times has the issue of Julian Assange come up at our show where he's going to be expelled the next couple weeks? I swear they just run this as cover for other news stories that are breaking and more impending. Like the fact that the Mueller report was not complete. So we're sitting here in a live feed outside the Ecuadorian embassy in London, waiting for Julian Assange to get kicked out. This is absurd. I'm beginning to believe that entire story is made up. Utterly and ridiculously made up, like I started the show with. Oh, and I mute you? Okay, I didn't see that. Someone is basically using your chat as classified sections or Craigslist for sale section. Really? All I can tell you is we've been hosed on various sites out there like 4chan, and they post our site numerous times looking for men for looking gay lovers and all this stuff. We have nothing to do with that. That's just one way that they're trying to attack us. One of the many techniques that they use against our show. At one point, we had people coming in our guest show, which at one point we had massive guest traffic here at Vaughn. And it disappeared over time because obviously Mark wanted to get rid of it, but the numbers have varied continuously, and I believe that Mark's been suppressing the number of people even in our room watching it at any given time. I'm sure you work for the NSA, not. I don't believe he's even in the embassy. I don't believe that Assange is even in real life terms out there. I'm beginning to wonder if he's even a real person. You know, the one video we have of him out on the balcony of the embassy is the only one we have from 2 years ago. The only one over a 4-year period. We were at 300, but Mark got a hold of the site and he figured out how to reduce the number back down to 85. He added another reducer, kind of a percentage of. So when we have 85 people, that means we have about 85, maybe 85 million people watching our show. 1 per million. I don't even think Assange was alive in the beginning. I'm beginning to wonder if he even lived. Now, the reason I believe that Assange may be altered is because we've already shown you in the beginning of our show the CGI clip that had his face morphed, and we know that they've done a lot of face morphing and using AI's technology to alter visual characteristics of a face. They can make anybody say anything. But the only appearance of him was in front of a camera, and I just realized that the video that I thought he was on the balcony talking could have been a completely AI assisted. And if it was routed through one news channel, and only one news channel was allowed to see it, it could have easily been CGI'd in. His entire being could have been created by a computer. They've got realistic human-like creatures now in high-end video games. You've seen them. You could actually, it's hard to tell whether they're real or not. I don't believe Assange is real. So if Assange ever comes out in the open and ever meets anybody on camera and actually presses the flesh with people, I will be really surprised. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this story about Assange being released will disappear in about 2 days. And it'll go back to business as usual. These stories usually come out when they're trying to direct our attention away from some major story in the news. Now, basically, Trump talking through his butt most of the time and making loud threats about shutting the border now walks it back to close the U.S. border, giving Mexico a 1-year warning. But the real story that they don't want anyone to see is this one right here. GOP senators alert Barr to allegations that Mueller team misrepresented emails. Mueller didn't do his job. William Barr can make all his fake assessments all he wants about Trump and collusion and Trump and obstruction, but in no way did William Barr do his job either, but in no way did Mueller do his job. He culled the emails specifically to reflect nice things about Donald Trump, and GOP senators are already telling people this is what's going down. And apparently the entire file has been leaked by Giuliani. I don't know. I can't verify that. Again, if you think that Julian Assange is anything more than just a way to express stories that the government finds it very difficult to tell you, I don't know any other way to describe it. Julian Assange, as well as WikiLeaks, is ostensibly a PR firm for the NSA. When they wanted to let the American people know all the secrets, tools that they've been using to monitor you on Skype, they simply released it in the Vault 7 release. But prior to that, Guccifer 2.0 revealed all of the WikiLeaks aspects that many of us didn't hear about. And we don't even know at this stage where that leak came from within the NSA, other than Julian Assange getting the submission from somebody at WikiLeaks. I believe WikiLeaks is no different than Anonymous, a government operation designed to mold and manipulate and propagandize. And just on cue, they're calling right now. They don't want me to talk about this. Hear that? They just don't want me to talk about it. Yeah. I'm outing these people every single night in our show, and they don't like it. They'd like us to say no to David. No, David. But they can't. They can't stop this tide of intelligence that keeps pouring out of my mouth. We did not expect the world to be silent. The U.S. is continuing to kill civilians with impunity. Wow. Look at that. Coming from RT, it might be fake news, you don't know. The Trump administration, which made promises to rein in Washington's unnecessary wars, has now not only expanded the U.S. covert lethal drone program, but it's taken the covering up of its civilian death toll to a whole new level. Wow. The 5 strikes carried on since March of 2017 by both manned and unmanned Reaper aircraft found that the strikes resulted in at least 14 civilian deaths, with instances of 8 civilian injuries as well. In total, the U.S. has carried out more than 100 strikes in Somalia since 2017. Amnesty International is on it. They're tracking it. Trump, 8 days into the presidency, went against his military advisors and bombed 31 supposed terrorists, and they weren't even terrorists. One was an 8-year-old girl. Now, Obama had held off on that bombing raid, but Trump, as soon as he became president, just wanted to go do it. We've got a man who likes to murder people. Apparently. He murdered 31 people 8 days into the presidency, and nobody seems to care. This is unheard of. All right. Apparently, you guys don't like what I have to say. We'll sit on this for a while I check out of the room, and you can watch this little triumvirate of people that are gathering. All right, now that you watch that, you can look at this. So what do these people have in common? Well, the Zionists, who are basically funded through AIPAC, our government has a lot of these Zionists embedded in our government right now, and Trump administration has them surrounding them. Hillary has a lot of Zionists around her, and so does Biden. Biden is a Zionist. Go ahead. Yes, Khaled, what can I do for you? Okay, hang on. I don't even know. And the Vatican has a serious connection to this as well. See, the Zionists are basically the Rothschilds. They created the Zionist movement, or excuse me, the Zionist movement preceded them, but they furthered it by promoting the State of Israel. And I have no problem with a State of Israel. I mean, it obviously is a strong ally of America. I'm not anti-Israel. But now the goal of these people is to dominate the world as opposed to just Israel. So the story of Israel can be traced back to the roots of Zion. And we can give you a link that'll verify that. No, you got to leave your name if you're going to call. But Lord Jacob Rothschild will tell you all about how the Rothschilds created the state of Israel, pretty much.
His Majesty's government view with favour the establishment of Palestine as a national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavours to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. Yours, Arthur Balfour.
So, the Rothschilds created Israel. They also, as I told you earlier, they supported Hitler, and they helped Hitler get out of Germany, actually. Hitler was sent to Argentina, and many other people were sent to Argentina. Well, just like Pope Francis, who's the former Cardinal of Argentina, helped the Nazis get out of Germany. The Rothschilds were very, very much involved in this whole rise of Hitler's power. The Vatican's connected through the rat lines, and the rat lines were how they got the Germans out of Germany who were Nazis. There's a strong connection there. And there's also a simple fact that the Vatican banks with the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds use AIPAC funding to control our two-party system. And there's this other component which predates even the Vatican and the Zionist influence, and that's the Masons. I wouldn't say it predates the Vatican. It predates the Zionist influence, which dates back to the 1880s. The Masons date back to the 1500s and Sir Francis Drake. And they're the ones that were instrumental in creating the Washington, D.C. through the Act of 1871. Now, what this all means is there's a connection between these three groups forming what I would call a New World Order, for lack of better words. I know you believe the Bogdanovs control the Rothschilds, but that's an urban myth, Zena. Thank you. The New World Order is essentially their rebranding of an old monarchy, and that's what these groups are really, the New World Order. So they are representing what appears to be an attempt to consolidate power, eliminate nations and national boundaries, and sell it to the world as though this is a great new innovation. That through global communication and the advent of digital communication, computer technology, robots, etc., they're offering a brave new world for all of us to look at and go, wow, we want this new world order. When in fact, it's just the old monarchy of the past rebranding itself and doing their dastardly deeds to try to create a final solution like the one they did in Germany in the 1930s. So we're at a very interesting time where we can actually share this information with you. Prior to the 1930s, there was no way of communicating to the Jews before they were taken off to the slaughter at Kristallnacht, that losing their guns through the international small gun ban treaty that they had in Germany would be the first precursor to them being carted off to the Dachau and Auschwitz. So these poor people, these Jewish people, were killed in the Holocaust, and it created the goal of Israel became much more real. And the wheels off Balfour, which is just exactly what Jacob Rothschild said they created, was really an attempt to consolidate a Zionist plan to own the area known as Jerusalem. Hitler had a personal stake in this because he wanted to have the Ark of the Covenant, which happened to be in Jerusalem, or so they thought. I'm afraid you're completely twisted, Zeno. Jewish people are good people. The Ashkenazis are the bad seed that have invaded what we know today as Jewry. The Ashkenazis are the ones that are really greedy, per se, not all of them, but per se. Many of them are looking for greater and greater power and control. That's why most of our doctors and lawyers are Ashkenazis. And they say they're Jewish, but they're really, their mother's mother is not a direct descendant of Abraham. Very few real Jews exist anymore in this world. Very few people have descended throughout history from their mothers' 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 mothers to become your leaders and the chosen ones here on earth. So for you to defame Jewish people is wrong. I'm anti-Zionist, but I'm not anti-Israel. I'm anti-Zionist because I believe they're trying to achieve a global new world order, which is going to hurt all of us, especially our nation. We're the highest nation to fall the farthest down when we do fall. And I can tell you, your life will change dramatically as their plan unfolds. They're not building a sustainable backbone to our economy. They're creating a world that is built off enlarged credit. Now, I took it upon myself to confront one of their money managers, a guy named Milton Friedman, back in 1978. I was registering for college at UCLA, and I overheard this conversation going on in the background behind the scrim of the registrar. And I was listening to this old man talk about about the economy as though money would solve all the problems in the world, printing money. And I was taken back because I knew that logically only leads to further breakdowns in our economy. And I actually stepped out of the registrar's booth, walked around the scrim, and went right into that meeting. It was Milton Friedman talking to about 8 or 9 graduate econ students. And I listened to about 15 minutes of it, and I introduced myself. I said, I'm an undergraduate student, but I'm overhearing what you're saying. And it seems illogical that our country would simply get better by printing up money. And he said to me that the free market would solve all our problems. So I asked him a couple problems. I asked a couple of issues, like what happens when automation takes over and people won't be working that much? His answer to me was the most mindless answer. The free market would solve that. Well, how ironic. How does a free market even exist when you print money with a fractional reserve banking system? You take $1 and put it in the bank and print up $9. How is that a free market? I still, to this day, never understood how that could be a free market. But every question I had, even labor going overseas, because it's cheaper, it's easier to exploit people. And back in the 1970s, we did not have the luxury of calling that outsourcing. It wasn't until later that we started dealing with that issue. But the idea of outsourcing, I should say. But I asked him about labor going overseas. He said the free market would solve everything. Every one of my specific questions he answered with the same answer. And I knew at that time that that man was complete imbecile. Shortly thereafter, he won a Nobel Prize in economics because he simply told the elitists what they wanted to hear. That they could take money and print it up out of thin air and give it to all of us and somehow make us believe that we're getting out of debt. The more you borrow, the more deep you go into debt. Period. Similarly, the more wars you start, the less peace you'll have on earth. Quite the opposite of what we think today. So if you really believe that our country is going to get better with this method that the two parties have laid out for them, with borrowing money incessantly from a World Bank who controls us, we will never have our sovereignty. We are still beholden to the City of London to this day, because the only document that actually ties us to sovereignty is the Paris Treaty of 1783. The only document. Right after the Paris Treaty, we established a constitution, which is essentially a plan of action for a business. The word constitutor in the Black's Legal Dictionary means debtor, believe it or not. We are in debt. According to the Paris Treaty of 1783, we are in debt to the King of England as our arch-treasurer. And as long as we're in debt to the King of England as our arch-treasurer, we will forever be not a sovereign nation. And I'm not kidding. We don't have another document besides the Declaration of Independence declaring our sovereignty. So they've pulled the wool over all of our eyes, thinking that we're somehow free, democratic, and a nation unto ourselves, while they pull our strings of the leaders that we have who are addicted to money, like Donald Trump. And the more we fall into this category of being reliant on their donations, their treasury notes that the World Bank prints up for us to run our country, the more we will be shackled to this debt, and we will never be free and never be solvent of their control over our nation. Period. Ever. So I'm offering a different plan, where we build our own infrastructure bank with the equity we have stored for us. We won a lot of money when we beat Germany and Japan. We acquired a lot of revenue, which is in the World Bank right now. They estimate over $40 trillion. We could easily pay off our debt and all of our debts and still walk away with nearly $20 trillion to put in an infrastructure bank, which would build up our economy. So this concept is offering infrastructure bank loans of 2% to U.S. businesses, offering U.S. citizens a living wage of $15 an hour, something that they can get by on. And it's tied completely to U.S. businesses. And they have to actually use that money here in the United States. They can't use it overseas. All these stipulations, but basic stipulations, will be built into this plan, so it keeps our jobs here, keeps American citizens working, and maintains a growth process which will get us out of debt and return our nation to solvency. So Sarah and I wrote a book about that, which you just have to go look up, Hybrid Capitalism, and you'll see the book on the internet. It's right there for all of you to look at. Just go to the wiki and look it up. Hybrid Capitalism, there we are, and there's the book right there. And you can download the book for 99 cents. It's a Kindle copy. We built this concept in order to survive the economic depressions that are coming, and it's good still to this day. We wrote it in 2012, but it's still perfectly applicable. And in it are the discussions about how to build the economy so that we are self-reliant, no longer reliant on so much foreign donations from monetary elitists. Yes, I could believe Dark Engine, thank you. Jeff Bezos has settled on a 75-25% split where he gets 75% and his wife walks with 25%. She'll have $35 billion in the settlement. I'm not sure what kind of attorney she got, but he was a real idiot. She could have easily gotten 50% of his income and assets. This goes down in legal history as the biggest joke of a defense I've ever seen for a divorce case. 35 billion, leaving him the remainder, which is he'll be still over 110 billion, 109 billion dollars he'll still have. Wow. Yeah, look at his right eye. Yeah, it's strange. It's kind of like he's on something. It seems like he's altered of some sort. Okay, the blue light of the moon. By the light of the moon, Turing recreates science of the scene of iconic lunar landing. Did we land on the moon? Really? Okay, so they got really great photography to replicate this. Okay. Wow, we get to replicate the moon landing that never existed. Okay, that's nice. It does look fake, doesn't it? You know, nobody can understand why none of the sand was ruffled when the lunar landing module landed on it. You notice that? There's not one... Did they dust for prints at that point? I mean, there's not one bit of sand on there. Oh, no, this is a recreation of the lunar landing. Oh, I got you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, sure. Like, I'm going to believe that, too. So we have a correction earlier. The article about the GOP senators is not something that in any way claims that Mueller is misrepresenting the truth. They believe that Mueller overly targeted Donald Trump. They believe that he went down too hard on Donald Trump, not the opposite of what I was saying. Rather, it is the opposite of what I was saying. Thank you. NVIDIA tried to fake a landing too? Okay. Well, it's not that easy to fake a landing. You need, I guess, piano wire and a real commitment to pretend like something's hanging. Yeah. I found We the People. Finally. There it is. Mueller's name dates back to Germany. Hitler's Mueller was in charge of creating the concentration camps. Yeah. The name Mueller, the man who created the concentration camps for Hitler. Isn't that a great shirt? We have yet to find a producer of that shirt. I'm still looking for it. I know. Network of Global Corporate Control. There's Karen Hudas. She's a lady who was the attorney for the World Bank, who was kicked out when she became antagonistic to what they were doing with that $40 trillion and other money that they had acquired from America. And she's an amazing woman. Karen Hudas goes out on a limb to try to defend her position, and she believes it's her duty to expose the globalists at the World Bank. She does such a great job, too. I really like her.
Bank for 50 years. One of my jobs is to try and keep the crooks from stealing this wealth. I've managed to do that. This is only because Marcos and Rizal created the World Bank and IMF and deposited that wealth with the World Bank and IMF. It's Marcos and Rizal actually who preserved the world's wealth when they started the Global Debt Facility. One of my other jobs is to tell you about the world's wealth deposited in the Global Debt Facility. This includes the world's monetary gold reserves. This series is called the Network of Global Corporate Control because that's the name given to the banking cartel by 3 systems analysts at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology That's a university which is also called ETH Zurich.
She's working with people around the world to analyze this debt authority that has literally manipulated every government out there, including Venezuela. Karen Hudes is I would say the equivalent of the Oracle on the Matrix. I really believe that she has an idea, an understanding of the economy that would give me more than enough confidence in her to actually lead. And I could easily make her the chairman of the Federal Reserve just as much as I could anyone else. Yeah, like the Oracle, the lady that smoked cigarettes in the Matrix. This woman is really, really bright, and I put a lot of trust in her knowledge of the World Bank, being she worked for them for so long. So when I become president, I will be giving Karen Hudes the authority. She will be nominated as my Federal Reserve chairman. Okay, now we need to talk about the conspiracy of chemtrails. There are people that want to make you believe that the technology doesn't exist to control the weather, but the reality is it does exist. They have the ability to control our air, our weather, everything, including making hurricanes and dehydrating large sectors of California. I hate to tell you, but anybody who's claiming somebody is a conspiracy whack job because they believe that they're being sprayed in the air isn't even opening their eyes. We are literally looking at skies like this every day amongst all of the people that I talk to. When I drove out today in my car, I saw skies not that far away from what we're looking at right now. All over the place. Chemtrails here, chemtrails there, all over the place. And these are not condensation trails. The condensation trail theory is BS. Those types of things evaporate within a few seconds. Busy saw them today. There you go. We're all seeing them. You just have to open your eyes. You'll see what's happening above us every single day. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm telling you this is what's happening. They think that we're oblivious to it. They are so proud of their ability to spray us like insects that they could care less what we think. Now, if you're worried about this and you want to send your family to a website, I did create a website called chemtrailparty.com that you can actually educate people on chemicals like these. They've been going on since 1946. This is from 1946. So just simply go to chemtrailparty.com and it will open up a page that will at least give you some links that you can get information on up here at the top. Find out how toxic this is and how they haven't even had peer-reviewed studies done on it. How it blocks the photosynthesis process. Putting chemicals in the air blocks the sunlight that plants need to create. Diatoms, for instance, need a tremendous amount of sunlight to function, and diatoms and phytoplankton are the most important aspects of our oxygen generation. And they're dying off with lack of oxygen or lack of sunlight. And then weather warfare, how they create droughts, hurricanes, and earthquakes. I've got one link, but this is a link button here, but I've got one link down here that really kind of makes you go, wow. You'll find out from this story that the government quietly admits to weather modification program. And what they do, this is really sneaky. They put newspaper ads like this one in LA. County of Los Angeles Department of Public Works hereby gives notice of intention to conduct a weather modification program. They think that's explaining it to us, how it's going to happen. Anyway, you can check chemtrailparty.com if you want to find out more. Thank you. And just like chemtrails are dangerous, so are the 5G networks installations that are going up. This past week, Brussels has announced that they're going to become the first major city to halt 5G due to its health effects. Our government doesn't seem to care about the effects of anything on our bodies. They won't do any 5G testing. They're just rolling out 5G as if it's perfectly fine and it's linked to brain cancer. So Brussels says no to 5G, which is good. And here's an example of China's new AI news anchor.
All right, so quick video here. My mom told me about this. I woke up and she was like, "You got to see this. I recorded this. This is so creepy. I couldn't believe it." I mean, I could believe it because I had been talking about this. Just like when people always say, "How can everyone be in on it?" Oh, how could everyone be in on it? Are you sure everyone's human? Watch this.
I think I might be in trouble. China has developed a virtual anchor to deliver the news. Watch this.
Hello, everyone. I'm an English artificial intelligence anchor. This is my very first day in Xinhua News Agency. My voice.
Now, yeah, the voice makes him sound like a robot. But when you look at that, that does not look like a robot. That looks like a human. That looks real as shit. My mom was like, I couldn't tell the difference. And honestly, I can't tell the difference. The only way I can tell the difference is from the voice, but give it time and they'll update that and fix that. And why are they showing us this now? Because they've probably been doing this for a long time.
You can imagine how it would be very difficult for a person to replicate an actual human being. For instance, if I was not real, you'd probably wonder, Dave, are you real? Why are you behaving this way, Dave? What are you doing? All right, so you're all good now. Your sound's back. Thank you. Yeah, I was talking to a blank screen. Weed overdose first aid. 6 things you can do when you like get high, like really too high, dude. Okay, like this is gonna be like a recommendation, dude. U.S. states that could legalize marijuana in 2019. Okay, well this looks like a video I'll play later. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My sound is back, yes. You feel like margaritas on ice? Well, treat yourself. You go, girl. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. We've got 3 minutes and 36 seconds of chemtrails over California. We could start our evening video with that, Scissor Fight. Thank you. Scissor Fight has a really good camera, and he's been taking photographs every day of his skies above him in Orange County, California. Don't eat too many weed caramels. Yes, exactly. That could be overdosing the edibles. Yeah, it's a good camera. It's a really good one. Yeah. AI, when achieved, has nothing to do with looking like a human. That's absurd. War Games is so naive. You are unable to understand the dangers of communication from an AI source using replicated technology duplicating human form. Are you unable to think beyond a certain level? Have you not reached any critical thinking ability, War Games? It seems as War Games is unable to actually think about the logical conclusion of AI controlling all media. Wow. You must be a real idiot. You know, it did occur to me that many of you have no idea how corrupt the world is. And you come to the world thinking that, gee, everybody's nice and everyone's going to do nice things to everybody. I find that rather odd considering there is so much evidence of corruption on this planet. You just look at the planet, how it's dying off. How can you possibly believe that AI hasn't already taken over? What makes you think that AI has not already taken over your entire life? How do we know that the Jade Helm operation was not conducted by Jade Helm 2.0, a military artificial intelligence program designed to control the munitions and armaments and ordnance of the human race? Welcome to the New World Order. Please take your place in line to the FEMA camp. Your place is waiting for you. Yeah, I mean, just prepare to realize how corrupt the world is. I am not AI, but I could be. Everything about me seems to represent exactly what this entire problem is. I'm trying to make you people aware that AI could easily replicate video signals, could be Julian Assange, could have ordered the 5G network so that it could have the ability to just say no to the human race. Yeah. How do we know that the 5G network, which clearly has too much copper in it to be safe, could possibly be like a switch? They flipped the switch on and then beep, fried the human race. You would say, no, that's impossible. That would create cholera from all their bodies melting. What does a computer have to do with cholera? Why does an AI system or a robot have to worry about cholera? Exactly what about cholera is concerning you? It could easily wipe out the human race in a second, leaving only a few morons that are living underground to be sorted out by some terrain vehicle, that unmanned vehicle that could rip them out, haul them out of their hiding place and eat them as biofuel. I'm just saying the 5G network is over the top. I believe the 5G network was created by AI, yes. I'm 95% sure the 5G network was ordered by AI. I have fairly strong supportive arguments to say that AI has made the 5G network simply because it's not needed. The 4G network, if the entire bandwidth that was allocated in 2009 to occupy digital frequencies was utilized, would be more than enough speed for all of your communications, even at 4K speeds, for video signals to be transmitted via cell phone, Wi-Fi, or Bluetooth. It's frightening, yeah. I hope you understand that I don't spend my time in deep thought for nothing. When you get the show, you're getting a lot more than just me. You're getting an analysis that you wouldn't find anywhere else in the world. That's all I'm saying. So, I think it's nice to know that there are people that think out of the box. I'm one of them. And I can tell you there's no reason why 5G would even occupy our existence. It's some matrix stuff, yeah. And because of the size of the wiring, it's of no value. Except to a computer system to fry the entire human race. If that's their plan, hey, you know, you don't have a lot of time left, folks. Their plan is to get rid of 85 to 90% of the population by 2030. Not good. Yeah, I want to introduce something that I talked about last week that I think is kind of cool. You know me, how I roll with the flow. When I found out Donald Trump was stealing my ideas, I thought to myself, well, maybe my ideas will help mold our future policies a little bit more, and maybe we'll go in the right direction. I'm trying to see the good in everything, even though Donald Trump has failed miserably in implementing my concepts. I'm also looking at the fact that Donald Trump did shut down the government, partial shutdown a couple times, and I discovered something. Not much changed. For about a 20-30 day period, pretty much everything was the same except Coast Guard members weren't getting paid and TSA members were not getting paid. They had to work for free. But they got paid back. They had a furlough and all that. But say we introduced an economic brake pad where we could actually pay as we go. And if we didn't have enough money to cover their salaries, we could just put them on instead of a furlough, a vacation, and just not pay them. Now, if we combine the Coast Guard with the National Guard, or at least paid them out of the same fund, we wouldn't have to worry about the Coast Guard not being able to work, and we can put them to work at our airports. Plainclothes, National Guard, Coast Guard people could have actually worked the airports just the way the TSA is doing it. There would be veritably no change in our airport scheduling. We'd have everything running like clockwork. Meanwhile, the largesse of bureaucrats that sit there in their desk job every year thinking they've got a permanent government job will begin to disappear. And these people that don't even need to be at a job because they don't do much of anything no longer become a drain on our economy. So I'm introducing the economic brake pad as a way of slowing down our economy, even if it's just for 3 weeks at a time. And I don't mean slowing the vibrant nature of our economy down, because I'm planning on a $500 a month plan, a basic income, which we called Baseline Plus in 2012. And I put a number on it just this past year. I'm actually looking at $500 per month for any U.S. citizen to collect as a way of keeping their income rolling, even if they're out of a job or are reaching the end of their rope with unemployment. This will pick up the slack and help people get ahead in that critical time when they're running close to the edge. They say that right now in America, 65% of our country is $500 away from living on the street. This funding will help grow the retail sector, which is ailing miserably right now. JCPenney's is about ready to close their doors. We're reaching the end of our rope. Our country has virtually been running on air, hot air coming out of Barack Obama's mouth for a couple of years now. Whoa! So if you're not aware of this, and maybe you're doing great because you're of investments or whatever, you're happy Trump is your great leader, then spank your monkey all you want for the time being, but your days are numbered too. Donald Trump is a liquidator, just like Mitt Romney and others. They liquidate companies. We're not getting better, folks. We're getting liquidated. All right. Prepper, you're obviously a shill if you believe that, yeah, the Julian Assange story is real. Yeah, I just don't believe that story. I'm sorry. I take it back. If you're not a shill, I stand corrected. But the Julian Assange story, in my opinion, has been put out 6 or 7 times the past 2 years. The same story you just put out, that he's going to be released in 2 days. They're covering up something, and you may be part of that. I seriously doubt Julian Assange is going to be out in 2 days. And if he is, I guess I'll just be eating my words here. Okay, then I didn't realize that you have no idea. Sorry I called you a shill. And I'm not trying to cast aspersions here, but we don't really trust a lot of people right now, being we've been lied to time after time in so many different ways by so many different people. So much so that I want to actually build a media verification alliance to deal with the problem of lying in our government. If our government's running a propaganda plan where they pay you to come in here and tell us that Julian Assange is being released tomorrow, Zeno, I don't trust anyone at this point except Sarah. Yeah, I really do trust her implicitly. I can't trust somebody online. You got to understand, I've had over 1,000 death threats in our show. Last night I got a death threat from somebody pretending to be a member of the Carlyle Group, run by the Rothschilds. And I showed you the video or the picture of what they said. It's horrific. We're getting threats all the time. I don't claim you're a threatening person. Prepper, I'm going to give you a second chance here. Just because you posted a link doesn't make you a shill. I'm sorry I called you a shill, okay? Thank you. Just the presence of this Julian Assange link makes me really skittish that maybe this isn't true. 7 times. You want a screenshot of what? Yeah. I just don't believe Assange is going to be released anytime soon. He's been in this room in supposedly the embassy, Ecuadorian embassy in London for how long? 4 years, 5 years, 6 years? Well, I can show you what they wrote me, but I put it in my threat file and I showed it last night on our show. So it's in the last night's show, about 3/4 the way through the show. We got 4 credible threats from a person claiming to be a member of the Carlyle Group. I cannot verify this at all. But I'd say a threat level is pretty high up there. They offered me $300 million to stop doing what I'm doing. And if I didn't accept their offer, that they would stop me anyway. And eventually they wrote that they were going to blow my brains out. Yeah. So, I mean, that's just on record in last night's show. Well, I guess I'll have to end the show on that note, because it's not exactly a fun note to end the show on, but... Right. Let's talk about a $1,500 ice cream cone. to cap this night of BS and illegal corruption going on. Well, look at that. There you go. You have your choice with $1,500. That's right, at the Baccarat Hotel in New York. You can purchase the most expensive ice cream, or you can pay rent for the month. This dish is made with vanilla ice cream from the vanilla bean imported from Madagascar. The rest of the sundae is constructed with a white chocolate shell painted with dyed cocoa butter, black truffle crumble, Manjari dark chocolate, and Verona gold cocoa nibs, drizzled on top in hibiscus champagne sauce with citrus meringue. Those dumb butterflies are fondant, and the gold hair is strands of sugar, plus there's gold and silver leafing. Ha 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 ha. Oh, who doesn't want to eat that ice cream cone? Ha 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 ha. Okay, here it comes. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's just boring. Hey, okay, thanks for coming in. I'll be back tomorrow with our Freedom Friday show. In the meantime, I hope you're enjoying the technology show. I'm sure you could replicate it without the gold leafing for about $12, including the truffle sauce, but I didn't want to go out on a deep end here. We are entering the stellar Star Wars of the future, but we don't even know if we can get off the planet Earth. We're still worried about that. I know. Our lunar module sure made a big, huge trip off the face of the moon. Wow. I play this, I can't help but notice how hokey it was when they played the moon landing on the Apollo 17, and this was the lunar module coming off the Apollo 17, and everyone asked, who was the cameraman taking this picture, and who was holding the string that pulled up this lunar module?
Port stage, push. Mission arm is destined. Okay, I'm going to get the pro. 99, proceeded. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector good. Ag thought. Pitch over. I hear you have good thrust.
We have good thrust, everybody.
Okay, 30 seconds. 308 your number. Take out your 1,500 feet, and H-dot looks good.
You Mr. Right, Mr. Right, too good to be true. You spin my world around, 'cause you're the peace I find. If you sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat, 'cause you make me melt away. You're Mr. Right, too good to be true. My world around, 'cause you're the peace I find. If you sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat, 'cause you make me melt away. My feet, my heart stops to beat, 'cause you make me melt away. You're Mr. Right, Mr. Right, too good to be true.